Hello, friends and strangers, and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. And of course, welcome to version 4.3. The next chapter. Last time was, honestly, a bit darker in terms of the entire story with Full Wish. So I'm kind of expecting this time to be maybe a bit more whimsical and fantastical. We are having multiple things to do. Blade will have his moment. We're also trying to potentially warn Grafia about Assad Pramad. So, let's see where this takes us. Is there anything else I want to say? I don't think so. So, yep, let's just get into it. Hello, Marge. What's going on the news?
You're back! The incident that happened at Full Wish TV is causing a huge stir. Come watch the news.
I mean, yeah. That would probably be... I mean, everybody literally saw some of that, right? It was just live broadcasted, right?
Hello, everyone! Welcome to our brand new segment, the Phantom Moon Brief. I'm your host, Poofy.
Hi, everyone. This is your old friend, Snowy.
Well then, as the Phantom Moon Games reach a boiling point, and for reasons that need no explanation, we are now joining Duo Mention TV to bring you live coverage of the latest and most critical news updates.
Yes, we are! And after the director of Full Wish TV and sponsor of the Research Society of Happy Smiles, Full Wish announced that she was joining the Phantom Moon Games! That terrifying tragedy of 15 years ago once again swept through the psionic game!
The supplicant debate, slated to take place at the Seafeld TV tower, was cut short when out-of-control Imaginée known as Joy Ascendants appeared suddenly and launched an attack.
Okay, and how are you gonna spin this that Full Wish was not behind that and actually try to save everyone?
This Imagenesis plague centered on Seafeld City spread rapidly. Even Full Wish herself turned into a monster atop the Seafeld TV tower.
As of the latest reports, nearly 200,000 human and Imaginée inhabitants across plain Arcadia have been affected by the plague! Countless individuals are injured or missing, and total losses are estimated to have reached 8.6 billion credits!
It's great when the news are like, yeah, some people have been affected, and here's the loss in actual money, and it's like, is that what we want to focus on? I mean, sure, I guess that is something that at some point needs to be, like, actually be accounted for, right? Some people need to, like, actually go over this and be like, okay, like, what did actually get damaged, what needs repairs and stuff. Could be, like, also, like, that the infrastructure has some problems, potentially, depending on what actually got destroyed. So, like, yeah, sure, but it's like, is this the first thing we really want to talk about?
And in a chilling echo of the Bloodstained Games 15 years ago, footage left behind by Full Wish points to the disaster as the work of supplicants from beyond the sky!
Of course.
She identified the culprits as the famed cosmic hero, the trailblazer of the Astral Express, and the wanted criminal, Stellaron Hunter Blade, claiming they were responsible for the tragedy.
But a spokesperson for the Department of Aberration Defense said the disaster was planned and executed by Full Wish herself through her organization, the Research Society of Happy Smiles. They added that the investigation will continue and the organization will be shut down.
Huh. I mean, it's great that they're doing that, but I did not expect that this is to be in the news.
Oh, how familiar that sounds. 15 years ago, they made the same excuses. What is the real story behind this? The Phantom Moon Brief will continue to keep you updated.
Over 500 years ago, a prophet made a prediction. In year 1999, a terrifying devil will descend from the sky. Will this prophecy come true? Can plain Arcadia safely make it through this crucial year? We will have to wait and see. Shame on them. How can they just say things like that on with fake news about you too.
So all in all, nothing new.
Also, those two hosts, weren't they from Full Wish TV? They were spreading nasty stories about you on the news before. And now look, they've immediately jumped ship after what happened to Full Wish.
Well, classic media behavior. Yeah.
Ever since coming to Plain Arcadia, nothing surprises me anymore.
It took this long. I think we already had some other moments that were very surprising, but okay.
I'm happy you made it back safely. But somehow, you just don't seem quite the same. Oh no. You're trying to grow up and leave me behind. Don't tell me you're becoming the next Don Hung.
Could you imagine Trailblazer is just like sitting in the library and reading? Instead of doing whatever other weird shenanigans we're normally up to. But yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that much.
No! Is this what it takes to become a hero?
Turning into March might be worse, no! Is turning into Don Hung really that bad?
If you're all grown up and serious, we just can't click like we used to anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Tell me about what happened at the TV tower. I've heard Don Hung and Sunday's side of the story, but I haven't heard yours yet.
I mean, there shouldn't be too different except for that moment when we were swallowed by the moon. You tell March 7 everything about the battle at Seafeld TV Tower.
So, Full Wish had people undergo the happiness surgery to implant Shuhu's flesh into their bodies, and that ended up causing this disaster? And you guys stopped the mutation from spreading, but all you managed to do was to temporarily seal Shuhu's flesh inside Blade?
Yep.
And then you mentioned that Nessia, the one we met at Star Rail Fest, is actually the Phantasmoon Moon Games arbitrator? No wonder she could draw a mask for you.
Yeah. She didn't have as much impact last time as I expected her to have.
And she also asked you to go deep into the world in Canvas to warn... who was it again?
An artist? No, the name is Graphia.
Who is that?
Well, the mother of Imagenesis. Did we not... Did we only read about that? Was it... I read too much of the side readables. Like, I'm like, is that not a main plot point that we were taught at some point?
Yes, Graphia, Himiko's ancestor. She's an artist from 1,000 years ago.
Himiko's ancestor? She's still alive? Wait, that's not even the most important part.
I mean, we're supposed to go into the world in Canvas, which is kind of like a painting. So, do people age in there? Like, while the entirety of Planet Arcadia was suspended in the world in Canvas, like, did the people age? I don't know, probably also not that important.
Nessia asked you to warn Graphia that the Lord Ravager, Asat Pramod, is back? Oh, why does the Express have such bad luck? By this point, whenever we go on vacation, I'm always ready to deal with random problems. But running into another Lord Ravager while on vacation? This is way over the line.
Well, by this point, it should be clear that this is not bad luck.
Lord Ravager, at Venessia's request, Shuhu's flesh and Blade's body, and the unfinished Phantasmoon games. Suddenly, there are so many things to deal with. It feels like we're juggling a bunch of eggs all at once. One slip, and it's all gonna go splat. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I wish I were as calm as you. I'm gonna go take a minute and collect myself.
So many things to deal with right now. Oh, what should I do next? Nah. I've had a long day. I should just get some rest.
Nothing against it, but I'd still find it funny. Like, we have a room on the Express, and it's still like, yeah, we're just gonna sleep on the couch. Sure. A sofa with a plush velvet surface like a cradle. The moment you sit down, you practically melt into it. God damn it. The first thing when I read it that came to mind was the stupid closet on the at the hotel in Bellowbog. You and the closet become one, and oh no. God dang it. The static from the news broadcast marches relentless questioning the looming presence of the Lord Ravager, the dangerous flesh writhing on Blade's body, and the future of the Phantasmoon games. All these tangled problems had knotted themselves into one chaotic mess. What can you do? You're just a poor little raccoon. You want to unravel the mystery, but now you're tangled up in its threads. You struggle uselessly for a bit, then give up, letting fatigue shroud your eyes in darkness. I don't have a prediction on who's gonna wake us up.
Shh, Welt. She's tired. Let her sleep.
Or that. You never knew you could sleep this much. Well, after you did something really exhausting, that is something that happens from time to time.
You're obviously tired. I never thought this vacation would become the prelude to yet another major war.
I have a bone to pick with you. Still, like, the entire thing that we're doing here, you feel so weird. And the trailer for this update definitely also made me just even more suspicious of it. Because it's like, what was it that the trailer said? The real Himiko never left Plan Arcadia or something like that? And because we're getting a new version of her, I have an idea, but I'm not gonna go into that yet. But still, I'm like, she literally was like, oh yeah, just go join these games, and it's gonna be fine, have fun. And then it's like, oh yeah, last time there was like a giant massacre. It's just like, you didn't think that was important to tell us? And now you're like, oh, I never would have thought. It's like, Himiko, what are you not telling us? Like, seriously, there is something that she's not telling us. And I expect her to have a good reason for it. But it's just like, can we finally, like, actually? It's probably gonna be the next update when her new version becomes playable, when we actually get all the answers. That is fine, but I want them. There's so much to deal with and I don't know where to begin.
From our very first steps, trouble has always followed the Nameless. But this is way too much.
Look at you now. It takes me back to when I first got the Express running again. Aside from Pom Pom, I was the only crew member on board. Constantly stretched thin and feeling out of my depth. All I could do was note every problem in the navigation log, one by one. A world's coordinates that needed an update. A glitch in the Express's warp system. The notes were as dense as the coordinates on the astral charts, leaving me completely overwhelmed. Back then, I never imagined the Astral Express would one day have to face a Lord Ravager. But strangely, now that the time has come again, I'm not panicking at all.
I mean, we have faced more than one Lord Ravager at this point, so yeah, I guess we're getting used to it.
Come to think of it, it's because of you. Because of all of you. Along the way, we have defeated 2 Lord Ravagers.
I don't think we can say we've defeated 2. Like, Ventilia, I think, yeah, sure, it was a setback for her, but I don't think she was really fully... She did manage to stir up some trouble within the Xianzhou Alliance. A little bit, but like, people were questioning, like, hey, why the hell is this wonderful tree back that shouldn't be? And we're questioning if Jing Yuan is fit for his post, so like, there was still something going on. I wouldn't necessarily say that we really fully defeated her. Especially since we don't know, like, how many of her there are and where she's plotting what. Like, setback, sure, but defeated? Yeah, not really.
The Nameless who guided me before I set out once told me, keep moving forward, and the obstacles that once felt impossible to conquer will soon be behind you. And along the way, you'll find companions who are just like you.
That's not the worst life advice.
I've seen you grow through the Phantom Moon games, becoming someone others can trust and lean on. And I heard the declaration you made atop the tower. I'm truly proud of you. That's why I want to share a story from the past with you. A promise from 15 years ago.
Ooh. Is it about how Himiko got the express running again?
I promised someone that when the moon over my hometown was full again, I would go back to see her, to let her know I had made the most of this borrowed life, and found companions I could trust with all my heart.
Borrowed life. That's another mystery about Himiko. She's supposed to have... What was it called? The Withering Curse. That all of the people from that are descendants of Graphia suffer from, and she somehow doesn't have it. Borrowed life.
I want to share this story with you all. The story of how my journey began.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I can't wait to hear it, but I expected that to be next time, but sure. Can't wait to hear it.
It's a long story, filled with many memories of my past. I'd also like to invite you all to the place where I repaired the Express and tell you everything bit by bit.
All right, it's a deal. When I return from the world in canvas, you can make us, let Shush make us some coffee. Then we'll settle in and listen to your story.
It's a bit on the nose to be like, yeah, you can, please don't make coffee. But yeah, okay, fine. We're doing this first because it's important. Okay, I can live with that. That works. That's fine.
Speaking of the world in canvas, March told me about what Evanesia said to you. Evanesia's request was not made lightly, and she was worried for a reason. Silverwolf saw that Lord Ravager in action too. According to the records from the databank and the IPC's investigation, Asat Pramad's campaigns often span centuries, and the planets he targets all end up destroyed in freak accidents, leaving their surfaces covered in only smiling faces.
Daddy's creepy as all hell.
1,000 years ago, my ancestor Graphia created the world in canvas. If that was to resist Asat Pramad's invasion of Ahatopia, then could this disaster unleashed through the Phantom Moon games be the prelude to his next invasion?
Again, I don't think it's gonna be that much of an invasion. We have too many people involved that are actually ridiculously powerful, and the way Silverwolf literally, like, was able to stand up to him last time, I don't think he can just easily win against everyone like that. I think we're gonna be tricked. We're gonna play right into his cards, and we will not realize it until it's too late. It astonishes me that Graphia is still alive. Okay, so World in Canvas does not potentially have something to do with aging or not?
That's the first of many mysteries. Based on our family history, we are clearly not descendants of any long-lived species. Quite the opposite. The weathering curse has shortened my family's lifespan for generations. What could my ancestor have gone through to still exist today? That too leaves me deeply curious.
Weathering, not withering. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. Could you tell me more about Graphia?
There are far too many legends about her. It's hard to tell what's true and what's not.
That is completely understandable.
Only two things are beyond doubt. First, during the Cinderth Age, she created countless Imaginae and sent them into battle against the demon legions from beyond. Second, near the end of one of the Phantasmoon games, she created the world in canvas to shelter inside it what was left of civilization and life. Which means she is not only familiar with Asat Pramod, but has also witnessed the manifestation of the Eon of Elation.
About the world in canvas.
Nobody knows just how big the plane Graphia created actually is. Over 140 years ago, the IPC tried to salvage the world in canvas, but they were only able to reconstruct part of it in the real world. That portion became what we know as Plain Arcadia. Legend has it that Graphia used a vast ocean as her canvas and channeled the power of Elation to step into the painting, which means she has not only seen Asat Pramod, but has also seen the Eon of Elation descend in all their glory.
Well, where do I begin?
Good question. As for who in Plain Arcadia knows Graphia and the world in canvas best, it's probably Pearl. She was sent here by the IPC.
Huh. I kind of expected Evanescia to just show us, like, some kind of gateway in. That... okay.
She should have some clues to guide us in the right direction. By the way, General Yao Guang is here. She says she wants to talk to you in private.
Bad news?
I'm not sure if she comes with good news or bad news. She brought a little gift from the Cienjo, though. Mung bean soda.
Okay, that doesn't really help.
Go talk to General Yao Guang, then. Don't keep her waiting. After that, come to the party car and fill us in on your next move.
Nice to meet you, Ishvara. I always thought that the arbitrator, Evanescia, would step in and punish Fullwish for the disaster she caused. But, to my surprise, it was you who defeated Fullwish.
Yep.
In my capacity as an Arbiter General, I extend my deepest gratitude to you for halting the plague and sparing countless lives from suffering.
I have a feeling you wouldn't necessarily say that if we would have just done that against any other problem. But okay, you are too kind, General.
What I am about to tell you is something Evanescia risked breaking the rules to share with me. Please keep it a secret. Not a word of this leaves the Express. Sealed within Ahatopia's core is Ouroboros, the Voracity.
Okay, she knows. That's interesting. But also, why do we need to know? I mean, it's good that we know, I guess, for future things, but it's still a question of, like, why are you telling us? But yeah, that is cosmic level bad news. Probably.
You mean the Leviathan that can swallow whole planets? That Ouroboros the Voracity?
Yep.
Looks like you know a thing or two about Ouroboros.
I mean, we met them in the simulated universe, so at least we have an impression.
I've seen that terrifying thing in Herta's simulated universe.
Sometimes I should just let them talk because the thing I say is literally the next sentence, and sometimes I'm like, okay, that's yeah, perfect.
Rumor has it, they were last seen during the era of the Swarm disaster. They were hardly there to aid the Swarm, but rather to attend a cosmic level feast, in which the Swarm served merely as appetizers, and the planets they passed were devoured as the main course. No one expected them to be here of all places, sealed away on this very planet, after vanishing for years.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely alive. Still, it's the same. Sealed. Are they dead?
The true situation remains unknown. But with this information, we can understand why Asat Pramod set his sights on this world. Aren't you a little afraid, facing a huge disaster like this?
I wanted to say, we kind of seen half the universe die already, so this is just a normal Tuesday. Not just for the Express crew, but also just a normal Tuesday in Star Rail. Like, half the universe is about to die. It's just a norm. Which is... Like, honestly, I think Star Rail is a very interesting story in that regard, also about, like, cosmic horror. Because these are just, like, the things we sometimes just fight or just literally just happen to us sometimes. It's just like, yeah, you're not gonna deal with this. This is completely out of your league. Just try to survive. But yeah, I've seen worse.
That's impressive, Ishvara. No wonder you survived the calamity of Iron Tomb.
That is the thing that was worse, probably.
Fortune follows when fate hits its lowest ebb. Every crisis comes with an opportunity. Now that we know a force capable of devouring stars is deep in slumber at this planet's core, perhaps we could make it devour the problem inside Blade's body. It might just be a risky path worth taking.
So when in the last chapter of the story you said you have a potential solution, is this what you had in mind? That is... okay. That sounds like a potential very bad idea.
Blade has agreed to my proposal and will venture into the world in canvas to seek out the Voracity. From what I've heard, you are going there as well. I cast a divination, and the hexagram shifted between the marsh and fire trigrams, yielding the judgment. Heaven and earth are separate and apart, but the work which they do is the same. In other words, though your paths may differ, they are destined to intersect.
That's not really that informative, other than like, hey, this is going to somehow work, just go along with it. Is this gonna be Blade's funeral?
A funeral, or an adventure? Will it be a battle with only a 1 in 10 chance of survival to tear away Shuhu's flesh from his body and eliminate the Xianzhou's arch enemy? Or will it be a journey in which he settles all grudges and never looks back? It all depends on how he perceives it. Blade agreed to my proposal, even though that little Stellaron hunter girl wouldn't stop objecting.
I mean, it sounds potentially very, very... I mean, if something goes wrong, we could just literally reawaken an Eon that is devouring planets and set it free. So it's like, are we really okay with this? General, are you betting everything on me?
Betting? No, I don't see it that way. We are not chips laid on a gaming table, nor dice tossed at someone's whim. We trust in people, in ourselves, and in those beside us, knowing they can change the course of even the most desperate battle. That belief is what gave you the strength to overcome Full Wish. It is also the only reason I stay for this world. My purpose has never changed. I am going to draw the Elation into my divination, and overturn a fate marked for great woe. I have a plan for how to handle Asat Pramod if he strikes unexpectedly, but I still need more hands to make it work.
Just also, like, as risky as this plan? Probably. That seems to be her whole thing. I said it before, like, fake it till you make it. Just, even if it maybe doesn't sound that great, just go along with it. It's gonna work out. Don't worry. Looks like the Phantom Moon games will have to come to an end soon. Kinda doubt that.
What miracle could cap off these games better than a finale that humbles a Lord Ravager? It will be a tribute to the Elation. The shadow of the Lord Ravager looms, and from here on, everyone must carry their part of the burden. I will take my leave first.
Before I set out, I still want to say a few words to everyone. What are they all up to over there?
Drinking, talking, discussing what they're gonna do to help out.
Oh, there you are. We were waiting for you.
What are you all doing here? I mean, she literally just said they were waiting for whatever.
We're here to celebrate the Astral Express making it through another trial, of course. Pom-Pom's heard all about your latest adventure.
It's a modest celebration, but a meaningful one. You stopped Full Wish's scheme, and that is no small achievement. Regardless of what the people of Plain Arcadia or the media may say, we raise a glass to you.
Exactly. You knocked out the mastermind behind all those creepy whatever their name is. I didn't get to see it myself, but Don Hung described it for me. You killed it!
Oh, thanks, Marge.
Your victory gave Blade a chance to free himself from Shuhu's flesh. Thank you.
I'm also very happy that you and he are like actually kind of getting along.
With a Lord Ravager looming on the horizon, everyone will soon be heading off on their own missions. Before that, it felt right to have a small gathering like this.
Now, let's make a toast. Here's to everyone who fights to protect this Arcadia. And here's to all of us. The Lord Ravager can throw whatever he wants at us, but I know the Astral Express will keep streaking across the stars.
To all of us.
Thank you. All of you. Having you by my side is what gives me the courage to face the future. I'll carry this strength with me through the rest of this journey.
Why does this scene feel like an actual goodbye for something? What is going to happen?
Cheers!
Like, this literally feels like we're gonna get torn apart and only will get together at the end of it all. Glasses clink together like you're here, like your hearts beat as one. After finishing the drinks, the nameless each enjoy a brief moment of respite. Can we talk to not everyone? Sunny?
Did you need something?
Why are you here alone?
I need a break. I felt worn out ever since coming back from Seafeld TV Tower. Right now, it feels like I'm back in Oak Manor's banquet hall. At those parties, no matter how tired I was, I'd have to clutch my glass and smile, keeping myself calm. Mr. Yang insisted I should get a full day of sleep, but I didn't want to miss the chance to toast with you all.
Thank you for being with me on this journey. With all of us, I guess.
I should thank you for letting me embark on this journey.
Yeah? I still find it a bit weird. Like, I don't know, the writing for Sunday is just a bit bizarre. At the end of Penacony, he comes with us, but it's like... After all the things that actually happened in Penacony, it feels a bit weird to just let him be. And then through all of Forest, he literally just stands next to people and is like, yes or no. That is all he says, literally. It's like, it feels like he was not supposed to be a character. And, I mean, now he definitely has his moments, and he definitely feels better written now. But I'm still just like, I don't know. There's still some weird feelings that I have about him where I'm like, certain things still don't really fit as well as I would have liked. Welt, what do you have to say?
I heard from Sunday about how the televised debate went. We won this battle because of you.
How was the situation in Duo Mansion City?
The streets were in chaos. Traffic ground to a halt, and Wispay littered the ground. It was like a scene straight out of a disaster movie. When the televised debate began, a crowd outside the station gathered to protest the Astral Express and nearly broke through the barricades. But the moment the Joy Ascendants appeared, they scattered without a second thought. I guess people know deep down which is more dangerous, a made-up villain or an actual threat.
Or at least you would hope so.
But I am more concerned about you.
Me?
I've seen the footage of your fight with Fullwish. When you returned to the top of the tower, an enormous surge of power seemed to erupt from you. It reminded me a lot of when I saved you at Herta Space Station. Did you tap into the power of the Stellaron?
Oh. Not really, but maybe?
The Stellaron can be awakened by a wish, but its immense power always has a way of warping reality. As the wave of wish power surged toward you, it brought hope and blessings, but also dark intentions and malice. What might it do to the Stellaron? We have no idea. Be careful with this power you have, no matter how tempting it may seem.
Yeah. That was also kind of what Vanessa talked to us about, right? About how that might change us. But that was more about the power of Elation. But I mean, it's the same thing, right? If wish power has an influence on the Stellaron. Pom Pom, you look super happy.
Oh, it's you! Pom Pom heard you've got a solo mission coming up. Be safe, will you?
Oh my god. Conductor, do you remember anything from before the Express got back up and running?
Sadly, Pom Pom can't remember remember most of what happened right after the Express crashed onto this world.
Huh.
Pom-Pom's memory of those years is like a fogged-up Express window. No matter how hard Pom-Pom tries, Pom-Pom just can't wipe it clean. But it's okay. After passenger Himiko repaired the Express, Pom-Pom got to share a one-of-a-kind journey with all of you.
How did you and Himiko meet, Pom-Pom?
How did passenger Himiko appear? That's odd. Pom-Pom can't remember a thing. All Pom-Pom recalls is having a long and fuzzy sleep, then being woken by a knock at the door. And just like that, passenger Himiko was on board.
That probably then is related. I would just guess. Himiko won the Phantasm Moon Games that year, right? So maybe this is like her wish that she just was part of the Express, that she was just here. That probably whatever her wish did just makes it like that. So it's like, don't worry about it, she's here now.
The day passenger Himiko knocked, it felt like Pom-Pom was waking up from a dream. The Express's heart started beating again and the lights flickered on one after another.
Pom-Pom, have you heard of the name Graphia?
Graphia? Pom-Pom hasn't. But Pom-Pom always dreams of strangers when Pom-Pom's asleep. They seem to be bustling around the Express, and there are soft clinking and clanking sounds, just like the sound of stars twinkling. But every time Pom-Pom wakes up, their faces slip away. Pom-Pom is only left with a warm and comforting feeling, knowing someone had taken good care of Pom-Pom.
Huh. Conductor, it's time for me to say goodbye.
Safe trip! Pom-Pom will take good care of the Express while you're away.
What is Pom-Pom? I mean, yeah, Pom-Pom is the conductor, but like, what exactly are you? Not your job, not even like your species, but like... It feels like the Express crashed and Pom-Pom didn't really know what was going on, and... I don't know, but it feels like as if Pom-Pom is like part of the Express. It's like the best way I can put it right now.
There you are. March and I were talking about you.
You two missed me, worried about me.
A little. But March is obviously worrying too much.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I have a reasonable amount of concern for my companions.
Honestly, I would say yeah.
This trip to Plain Arcadia is the first time we weren't necessarily working together toward a common goal.
Not necessarily, but like overall, we still... I mean, we all joined up together to work towards a common goal last time. So sure, we didn't do that from the beginning, but we all ended up together again.
You dove into the Phantasm Moon Games. I crossed paths with that relentless old friend and foe again. As for March, well, she spent her time wandering and eating. Her perfect little vacation.
Wait, hold up. How come all I get is wandering and eating? I grabbed plenty of comics as well.
Yes, Marge, because that was the point he made, exactly.
I call it cultural exploration. With a little extra time for me to recharge, of course. Right?
Right, sure.
Now that we're having this little break, it hit me that I might have neglected you and March.
Nah. You're overthinking it. As you put it, you joined up with an old friend and foe.
Yeah, we are actually more concerned about your condition, Dan Heng.
Blade has accepted General Yao Guang's proposal. Perhaps he has finally moved on from past grudges and that abundance curse, and is now ready to do something for himself.
Or he is just tired.
It's going to be a path fraught with danger. So, I had hoped to accompany him for a bit longer, but he refused. From now on, I will turn my attention to this world.
Oops, sorry. Don't know where that came from. What are you going to do next?
Mr. Yang and I have been asked by General Yao Guang to help with setting up some defensive formations.
I've got work to do too. Mr. Ashvale wanted someone to accompany him to the tavern to investigate clues about Asat Pramod. Yours truly figured she'd been resting long enough, and it was time to stretch her legs. So I volunteered.
That is a team up I did not expect, but I now desperately need to see. Because, like, Ashvale is weird and mostly is like his little narrator monkey that, like, does the actual intelligent work most of the time. And March is, well, March. So that's gonna be a dynamic. Stay safe. Don't make me worry too much.
No problem. When you come back, you have to share everything you saw in the world in Canvas.
Of course. Maybe we're gonna, like, take photos if we can. Hello, Himiko.
Just in time. I've talked to Madame Pearl.
Oh?
She will handle all the arrangements for your passage, so you can enter the world in Canvas to find my ancestor Graphia.
So, is there a specific way that you have to, like, I don't know, do something specific to be able to talk to Graphia? Is this something that people just can do? Is this something we have to figure out because nobody has done it before? Because, like, if there is just a passage that you can just take and go in there, and, like, what is stopping other people, like especially Pearl or other people of the IPC, to potentially talk to Graphia? Right? The IPC tried to reconstruct the world in Canvas back into the normal space, and it seems to not be a full thing, so, like, wouldn't they have a big interest in potentially talking to the person who's responsible for the world in Canvas? Like, if this is just something that just works, I'm having questions. Well, when should I set off?
Actually, I hoped you could take some time to rest first.
Maybe for the better?
Once you've fully rested, you may make your way to the dock in Seafeld City. Madame Pearl has a special ship waiting for you there. It will take you to the border between this world and the world in Canvas, a place known as Inkford Hermitage. That's your final stop before entering the world in Canvas, a place to gather your supplies and rest up before you set out on the journey ahead. I know you'll have to go alone this time, but I don't think it'll be dangerous. After all, that realm was created by Graphia, my ancestor.
I don't know why this one makes me jump out and be like, you're probably wrong. I don't know why I mistrust Himiko so much, but I somehow do.
The thought of it makes me feel calm, in a strange but comforting way. If you get to meet her, please give her my regards.
I will send your regards to Graphia.
Please tell her that one of her descendants became a nameless on the Express. Go ahead. Set out once you've rested up. I'll be here with Welt and the others, awaiting good news from you.
In other words, that woman wants you to take Shuhu and jump straight into the Voracity and leave the rest to the Eon's stomach acid?
Probably not exactly what is happening, but yeah, that seems to be somewhat the plan.
And this is between me and him, right? Why are you tagging along?
Relax. I'll say my goodbyes and be gone. A dignified funeral, If you ask me, this ending is indeed grand enough.
I don't care about any of that. There's only one thing I care about. Does he have to die?
I think the question is more, does he want to?
Here's a piece of advice, little cub. Whether he lives or dies is his choice. That's the one thing you don't get to decide for him.
That is a topic that's always heavy. When it's about people you care about.
It has landed.
What?
The ship?
Nothing. Just a seabird landing on the rocks.
Ah. Are we gonna go with the metaphor of like birds have to at some point also just rest from flying or something?
A blade forged of mortal steel cannot sever an undying fate. If Shuhu is to be put down, the options are few. And that Leviathan is one of them.
In time, people will say this. The culprit of the Juming gave his life for the greater good and plunged into the abyss alongside the abomination.
I'm not as noble as you make it sound. Many years ago, you invited me to join the Galaxy Rangers. I refused for one reason.
Interesting.
I'm a petty man. I was never born to carry some greater good. This is between Shuhu and me. Nothing more.
Can't argue with that. A Galaxy Ranger through and through. Well then. I won't say anything more.
Blade, you sure about this?
For years, death has clung to me like a curse, etched into my bones. If there is a chance to make a god feel the same pain, I would do it, even if this body is reduced to ash. As for everyone else, there's no need to drag them into this. We'll proceed as Yao Guang proposed. Bury Shuhu at the end of the world in canvas, taking me with him, and let the Voracity dissolve us both.
Take care.
How about you stay as well? You might as well see it through to the end with us.
Plain Arcadia has bigger problems that need my attention. Your instincts were right. That meanie pulling strings from the shadows is none other than a Sat Pramod.
Who else would want to kick a Ha's head like a ball?
That is a very, very good question.
So, I need to get back and finish my job.
Investigating a Lord Ravager sounds like a job you don't come back from.
Therefore, it also pays very well.
Then here's hoping you live long enough to collect your payment.
This is a... God. I kind of understand how she feels. Last year, when my grandmother passed, I talked to her before that, like lots of time before that, like if ever there is a point where she cannot decide for herself anymore, that I should decide for her. And even like for like medical papers and stuff, when it actually comes to like being in the hospital or surgeries and stuff like that, like everything was arranged that I would have the final say. But when it actually came to that point and actually seeing a person in that state, that there is nothing you can really do, and they have already made their choice of what they wanted to do. Because again, she talked to me about that, of like what she wanted, and she didn't want to live anymore in that state. That is not a nice topic to ever have to deal with. It's very, very difficult to really understand until you actually were in that situation yourself. Because it's such a weird feeling, and it's... At the end of the day, you kind of have to ask yourself, are you wanting them to live for your sake or for theirs? And that alone also is just a complete different can of worms. So yeah, maybe he doesn't have to die. Hopefully.
Every time, when it's just the two of us, you go quiet.
You know what I'm going to say. The seabird's flown off. It's time for us to go too.
The terror slumbering at the heart of plain Arcadia is... Ouroboros.
After the swarm disaster, the Voracity vanished, never to appear again for more than 700 Amber eras. Their last rumored sighting was 500 years ago.
History fictionologists claim that Ouroboros lies in wait at the edge of the cosmos, guarded by their children, awaiting the day of their return.
I've heard that story before, but it wasn't about the edge of the cosmos. It was Pier Point. They say that the preservation is nothing more than a facade, and the IPC is, in truth, a cult devoted to the Voracity.
Don't give me ideas. Do not. But, I mean, as Kichiva asked last time, why are you trying to retrieve it?
Organic life has quite the imagination. They've said other things, too. That Louis Fleming seeks to ascend as the Eon of Wealth. That the Council of Mundanites are mere hounds of Dr. Primitive. That the Marketing Development Department colludes with the destruction, turning a blind eye to the spread of Stellarons. Such rumors are endless. I believe the General should be able to tell which are true and which are not.
I've never heard the last one, so let's assume it's the only one that's true.
Again. It's luring people in. I don't know if I mentioned that at one point. I think I did. But the first time you meet Ouroboros in the simulated universe, Trailblazer reacts with, like, I want to be eaten. So it seems like this is just part of what Ouroboros is. It just kind of makes you want to join in. Just one more step, one more. I didn't read the other one.
Ah, such terrible breath. Once this Leviathan awakens, the Arcadia's destruction would be all but instantaneous.
For now, this remains conjecture. The sealed remains appear to be a husk that Ouroboros once shed.
Like a snake shedding its skin?
Why it's here, and how it's connected to the Elation, remain unknown. Yet even a fragmented remnant of an Eon is a threat that can't be ignored. The calamity of the Leviathan must not be allowed to re-emerge in this world.
Yeah. But that could mean that this is literally not the real thing.
Naturally. That is why I'm here. And it's about time for the two Nameless to arrive. Oh, you're just on time.
General Yao Guang, as instructed, warding talismans have been placed at over a dozen sites across Plain Arcadia.
My thanks. It was Mr. Yang's talent of creation out of nothing that allowed us to reproduce dozens of plumes and complete the deployment with such speed.
Ooh, are you going to enlighten us of what exactly you deployed?
Now, with Yin and Yang aligned, and all four aspects in place, as long as we set up the last formation core, the Decalite reflection barrier will be complete.
Ah, okay.
Using the divine eye of the Spiritus to weave a giant web, one that ensnares countless possible futures. General, have you truly made up your mind?
Though Shuhu has been eradicated, the signs of doom have not faded. On the contrary, they grow ever clearer. After much consideration, the source can only be this restless corpse.
One crisis is yet to pass, and another is already upon us. The Arcadia's ley lines were already riddled with scars, and now even the ancient tree's seal is starting to loosen. While Evanesia is asleep, someone must take up her duty to guard this place.
But defending isn't the way of the hunt. If you don't want to become the prey, you must become the hunter.
General, do you intend to go on the offensive and suppress the remains of the Voracity?
That is what she seems to be implying.
How could I? The Joy Seeker could barely confine that husk using the Abundance's ambrosial arbor as its cage. I'm not that arrogant as to place myself alongside the gods.
Okay, good. Maybe not as risky of a plan then. That's good.
I'm not here to guard against an Eon, but against a lesser menace. Lord Ravager sought Pramod. This barrier is prepared for him.
Asat Pramod has been meddling with the game from the shadows. His intentions unclear. We know little about him or the Voracity. By chance, however, a friendly citizen has provided us with intel.
Does she mean Kuchiba?
Ouroboros' remains are in Ahatopia, aren't they? Silence is an answer in itself. I've seen that reaction too many times.
I'm not surprised that you were the first to discover it. You were in the Torn Scroll too. The probability of you noticing was 24%.
That's a little low, don't you think? I'd put it at well over 90.
What I don't understand is this. There were countless ways to verify your hypothesis, yet you chose the most unconventional one. You bypassed security and broke into the building to confront me in person. What is your objective?
This is no confrontation. It's a warning, Madam Pearl. I'm a security officer, and there is only one reason I'm here. While everyone else is fixated on the Phantasmoon games, only the Department of Aberration Defense is watching other places.
Like the location where the new Herald of Death case was closed?
Correct. The incident involved 4 Daybreak Warriors, 3 nameless, 1 detective, and 1 officer. But just moments ago, a 10th set of footprints appeared at the scene.
After the investigation, we learned that the traces were left deliberately. A blatant provocation.
The Lord Ravager bent on destroying the Elation came uninvited. Make no mistake. Planar Arcadia is a stage he chose with care, and drawing the Abundance into the fray was hardly a win.
Our top priority is to dispose of Shuhu's flesh properly to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands and causing another calamity.
Yeah. But that's also our extensive knowledge. That's it. We don't know anything else that Assad Pramad wants to potentially do. We have no clue where the next thing that he tries to do is, or what the purpose is, or anything. We have nothing. And even this entire case is mostly, well, Fulwish's doing. Sure, he seems to be here, he seems to be manipulating things, but we have, like, nearly nothing to go on.
That said, we cannot afford to ignore Assad Pramad's next move.
This giant web is prepared for that very purpose. Once the entire planet is folded into the divination's trajectory, under the gaze of the Omnitia, all possibilities will be laid bare. When that time comes, he won't wish to leave any footprints behind.
I feel like you're gonna be wrong. Again, you're gonna play into his cards.
Why did the Lord Ravager choose to visit this place? Does he have an ulterior motive? Or is this merely some twisted joke?
That question should be left to the professionals. Don't forget, we have a detective who can't seem to rest.
Again, if we really assume that nothing he does is without purpose, and anything he does that we question and we don't know why, probably is there to confuse us and to lead us astray down the wrong path.
Let's hope the accumulation of variables can tip the scales in our favor.
And so, the people set out, and the gondola, bound for distant lands, set sail. At the end of the world, the Elation once again declared war upon the Voracity.
Okay.
Frail little humans! Ouroboros split their mouth wide open!
That's an interesting little... So we have a giant maw with the weird spiky teeth. Also, it looks like it's flame, but it also looks like it could potentially be... It feels like it's the Elation symbol, the cup, but on fire. We have then people with masks running away. And it seems to be like in this place, or potentially whatever this place was before.
Whoever can fill my whole mouth with but a single thing shall receive a reward. My tongue.
How are we supposed to interpret that? Is Ouroboros kinky, or does it actually like shed parts of its body off?
The fool known as the Shepherd captured a comet, but it wasn't even enough to fill the gap between the Voracity's teeth. The bartender Braji opened the wine cellar, yet they only grew drowsy, drifting off to sleep. And en route, he crept up to the Voracity's ear and told them a corny joke. The Voracity pondered it for 10 amber eras, then burst into laughter at their own amusement.
Huh.
En route spread his hands and said, "See? I filled your mouth with laughter."
Then what happened?
Ah.
Then the Voracity said, "Are you kidding me?" And with that, they opened their gaping maw and tore en route to pieces.
What kind of nonsense is that?
You're talking to a trash can in the tavern. What did you expect, March?
Ah, those are the facts, my inquisitive auditor. If you want to hear more stories, you're welcome to discuss with your classmates.
We came here to investigate the Voracity and Asat Pramod, but all we got were stories that only a 3-year-old would believe.
Yeah, but maybe there's still some little core of actual truth in them.
Rumors don't just appear out of thin air. It's just a matter of how much truth you think they hold.
Exactly. You get it.
At least 90% of that was made up.
Or artistic freedom in changing things a little bit.
Sometimes that last 10% is all you need.
Again, you get it. The question would be, which is the 10% and which is the 90%?
Oh, plenty of bystanders around. Let's hear what they have to say.
Open the detective notes to view the newly added clues. Oh. Ashvale's detective notes. The case of the missing Voracity. The assistant meticulously compiled the case details for the detective in neat handwriting. A trail of unknown footprints appears at the abandoned station. A weird emoji running amok in the tavern. All clues point to the Lord Ravager Asat Pramod. The detective is back on the case. Will he be able to track down the Leviathan's footprints in the tavern? P.S. The refrigerator's cooling system is down. Remember to repair it. Notes scribbled, handwriting jotted down by the detective at the scene. Shepherd, this guy summoned commons to feed the Voracity. Sounds like a fairy tale. Bragi, there are plenty of bartenders in the Loftus Tavern, but he's the most famous one. Rumor has it he still hasn't paid off the tab from that time he cracked open the wine cellar. En route. Feeding a Leviathan corny jokes. Crazy idea. I highly doubt his wordplay will be enough for the Voracity to feast on. Okay, those are like... Do we need notes like that? And the start is like as if he's writing a detective noir story somewhat. I don't know. Which I guess fits him. Also, team I'm using for today. I pulled Blade. So I'm gonna make use of him to get my Acheron to at least sometimes be useful, but this is a literal not built team, so I'm not expecting much from it. Like, legitimately, none of these characters is built. This is glorious. But anyway, well, we are here for information. The White Chungus Pathstrider of Voracity. Star Rail and the Fools are just like...
You two asking about the Voracity? You think about walking that path?
Not necessarily.
Walk the path of veracity? Do I need to eat everything in sight?
Again, I don't think that that is all the Voracity is. Like all the Eons, they are much more nuanced than what they appear to be at first glance. And especially with the Voracity seemingly being like teasing people to come closer. Just one more step. I really think that there's something more to it.
You got it. Kids always dream big. Some are bulldozers, some are monsters, and I am Ouroboros. Yeah, and the man.
I'm gonna be honest, props to the voice actor. This is not a bad performance. But this does not fully fit the character model.
Ugh, can you talk normal? Stop gulping for air.
But he's the Voracity. He needs to eat everything. That includes probably also all the air inside.
I swore to become a Voracity path strider. I eat everything. Tasty, nasty, anything I could see. Finally, I pinched my nose and swallowed loose mouth, and they looked at me.
Ouroboros?
No.
Nah. Ah. Very regrettable.
I mean, yeah. That makes sense, I guess.
Enough already.
March, why are you always so unamused? Laugh a bit.
I'm telling you, it was all bluffing. The fools didn't lose. Poor Root and Dorothy, when the Voracity wasn't looking, rolled up her skin like a crepe, snatched it up and bolted. Then poof, they were gone. Even Comic-Con Collective don't got a Voracity card. I already filed a formal complaint with the organizers.
You should be putting this much effort into your studies!
Oh, it's updated now. Kind of. No, everything else is the same, it's just the yellow stuff. In another version of the story, Enrout didn't tell a lame joke. He and Dorothy made off with the Eon's shed skin. Dorothy. Haven't seen that name in ages. She has ties to Enrout too. Who is Dorothy? If someone gives me a comment and says like, Dorothy is a character from The Wizard of Oz, I am going to lose it. But like, in this story, I don't remember that name in Star Rail. But made off with the Eon's shed skin. I mean, isn't that kind of what we just talked about? That the little bit of Ouroboros that we see in the Torn Scroll might potentially not really be the full thing. Scribble nibs.
They say a dull pen beats a sharp memory. My memory's dull, and my pen's not much better.
So you don't... Okay.
Then you must have a lot of stationery?
A kindred spirit.
That's, yeah, sure.
Miss, it seems you're one of us as well.
met far too many fools who can't even read. Oddly enough, those of us who truly love learning are the rare ones. Interested in studying the knowledge of the laughter? I have a reference book here. You can have it.
How to poke an Eon and get away. I think the first part already is nigh impossible, but okay, sure. A book signed by Scarecrow that records tales of masked fools who dare to offend Eons. They view this as a rite of passage in a fool's career, rushing headlong into it, one after another, never tiring of the thrill. Pay per second, one-day tour of the Amber World. Boring some poor sap's iris, the fool shapeshifter donned a sharp suit and boarded a shuttle at Pierpoint's skyport. He flashed a warm smile at every passenger in the cabin, billionaires, wealthy among enough to rival nations, monarchs of galactic belts, board members of industry monopolizing foundations, all of whom had emptied their coffers for a single pilgrimage, an audience with the Amber Lord. The shuttle pierced through the debris disk, drawing near the Amber Lord's colossal form. They had stood there since becoming sentient life was born, and would likely remain long after sentient life had vanished. Following the countless marks left over the eons on the subspace crystalline barrier, some prayed in silence, some wept softly, while the Amber Lord offered no response. Who would notice a single speck of dust in the vast expanse of space? The fool-carved shapeshifter was here, into the barrier, then took his leave without a second glance. That's it? Does it actually offend? Okay. That feels like it offends the people believing in this Eon more than the Eon itself. I don't think if they don't recognize you when you're there, why would they give a damn that you, like, carved your name? Like, okay. Remnant dream of the primeval Imperium into the mouth of Voracity. Oh, now it gets interesting. Ouroboros, the ancient leviathan that survived the Dusk Wars, was said to have chased Aha all the way to the roots of the imaginary tree. A fool named Enroute attempted to confirm the truth of this tale, but alas, he couldn't run as fast as Aha and was caught by the Voracity and swallowed whole. Who would have guessed that inside the Voracity's belly lay a wondrous world of its own? Are you saying the Ouroboros is like those endless pocket magical items that you can put in anything you want? The Voracity was so massive that the lives previously devoured had established their own kingdoms on their stomach walls. Thumb-sized dwarves, clever horsefolk, talking comet cicadas. And Rout explored this place with delight and encountered fellow swallowed fools Dorothy, Bragi, and Shepard. Together they adventured, found the Voracity's heart and gave it a good kick, and were belched out into the universe with a mighty wrench. And Rout quickly plucked off the Voracity's shadow and spread it over the fools like a blanket. Shepard then tossed out a comet, and the dim-witted Ouroboros was drawn to its light. The fools finally escaped with their lives. After that, countless fools sought the treasures within the Voracity's belly, but none ever caught so much as a glimpse of the Voracity again. Again, what 10% of this might be real and what 90% might be false. Everyone is Idrilla. After the Eon of Beauty vanished, the fool Devin made a proclamation at the tavern, instantly attracting a massive following. Chanting "Everyone is Idrilla," he sparked an artistic storm and launched a reckless charge towards pushing the boundaries of the path of beauty. For example, they stacked bananas to agates with polyvinyl chloride tape, scribbled graffiti on every household item in sight and proclaimed them great works of art, and even found time to fight a few copyright lawsuits with the IPC. That was until they arranged space junk across an entire planet's surface to form Idrilla's visage. At which point the Knights of Beauty finally rounded them all up. However, after 7 days and 7 nights of deliberation, the hastily convened Round Table of Knights of Beauty ultimately decided to release the fools, since to punish them, they would have to acknowledge that these depictions actually resembled a driller. That's kind of funny. Afterwards, say no to Aha. Having come this far, it seemed I must tell my own story. The night before I finished this piece, a visitor casually strolled into the tavern, sat down beside me, and ordered us each a bomb-first drop. They didn't introduce themselves, so we're talking about Aha. But I already knew who they were. They said, "Buddy, I hear you're writing a little book. I've read it. Quite interesting, but there's a few points worth discussing." I listened patiently as they spoke and rejected every single change they proposed. They downed the last drop of bomb in one gulp, then left the tavern. Their retreating figure looked utterly forlorn.
This feels completely made up. But, thanks anyway.
Oh, please. Thank the seniors. To compile this book, they offended every Eon they possibly could, and narrowly escaped death at the hands of each and every one of them. As for me, I'm just the one who keeps the books circulating.
Hey, friends! How was your first day of school?
Oh, it's you.
Here to pick you up after class.
I mean, who else should we have expected? Ashvale, what are your new wonderful notes? So, for Shepard, the fool whom en route met inside the belly of the Voracity, pretty much similar to an extra dragged in to make up the numbers in the soap operas Mr. N loves watching. And for en route, in a bizarre story, en route once ventured into the belly of the Voracity, managing to escape after plucking their shadow. Also a new character, Scarecrow. I guess he can be considered an old friend of mine. This guy actually wrote a book. Nothing up top. Okay, have a medical... Oh,
Where were you just now? You opened the door for us and just disappeared. Don't tell me you're up to something again.
She's a masked fool. It comes with the job description.
Still doubting me? You're breaking Sparkskull's heart here. That whole foolish thing. I took on every emoji in the tavern by myself, fought them all the way to the end of the world, and even one I masked down to nothing. But honestly, this place runs on rumors. Aha is being chased by the Voracity. Aha chases the Voracity. We won't get anywhere following stories like this.
Let's go through what we know so far. Ooh.
I'm going to not read this because this is the things we just heard, and also I didn't start fast enough.
Yeah, it's a complete mess.
I mean, the fact that there are so many stories about it, though, means that there is something actually potentially that was going on.
So, after a bit of thought, a Lady Sparksy came up with a brilliant idea. I borrowed a nifty little gadget from a friend. The Unreal Sparks and Spark! No idea how it works, but apparently this light bulb makes you smarter the moment you put it on.
That is the stupidest thing ever, but it also just works so well that I'm like, you know what? Sure.
Does this friend know you borrowed it?
No.
A Supramod has a gun to our heads, and this is what you're worried about? He'll find out one day.
Oh, so is it Giovanni?
Well then, I'll go first.
first.
Oh yes, a march with good ideas. Well, this is potentially getting into reconstructing another wonderful detective story. Are we gonna have more angler mysteries?
It doesn't look very reliable. Are you sure about this?
Yeah?
No worries. If anything goes wrong, the friend in my head will protect me.
She called her friend.
Doesn't seem to have any effect.
Wait for it.
No, it's working perfectly. I get it now. All of it. No need to dance around. Our enemy is a Lord Ravager. There's only one question we need answered. How does Asat Pramod plan to destroy Elation?
Yeah, that is a good question. But again, we have like nothing to go on, so
Correction. The effect is very obvious.
Judging by Nanook's habit of picking Lord Ravagers, I wouldn't be surprised if Asat Pramod was once a masked fool, and therefore knows Aha's weakness. The Arcadia is like a microcosm of eons and paths. People indulge themselves in fabricated happiness, unable to pull themselves away from it. Many have expressed their concerns. This isn't elation. Aha is playing with fire.
A classic social realist deduction. Old-fashioned. Ooh, but effective. We're closing in on the truth.
Yes. The answer is all but revealed.
it's gonna be something stupid.
You are a Sparksy!
That's not as bad as I expected, but still hilarious. I might want this as a freaking screenshot.
Do you have evidence?
And she plays along.
Of course. The truth is so simple that everyone overlooked it. The evidence is, you were the first person I met when I got off the express.
Okay.
If I am Asat Pramod, would you and Grey Hair have been able to walk out of the school alive?
I mean, depending on what the plan is, maybe, but...
Yeah, fair point.
So the light bulb makes your brain go super, super, super mega fast, but it doesn't give you like extra intelligence. You still operate on whatever level you are on. Not that I'm calling Marge stupid or anything. She's just... Marge is Marge. She is her own... in her own category of interesting thinkers.
Just take that thing off already. That's weird. I thought I was on the right track. Let me give you a lesson. Deduction isn't about people skills. It's about smart tricks and flawless logic. Watch and learn. Sparkle, master of the classic whodunit, has entered the chat. You changed your clothes just for this? First of all, Ouroboros likes to eat. Secondly, whatever they eat disappears completely. Therefore, Voracity is also a form of destruction.
I mean... potentially.
This is the classic mystery of one culprit, two identities. The one trying to kill Elation is... the Lord Ravager, Asat Pramod, played by the Voracity!
That makes even less sense than him just disguising himself.
What am I even saying?
At least you understand that much.
Classic whodunit. This is more like a classic Who's the Dummy.
The joke is gonna be that it works when Ashware puts it on.
I get it now. All this thing does is make wild guesses sound reasonable.
Or something like that.
So far, that's the most accurate piece of information we've gotten.
No need to be so serious, Detective. Why don't you show us what you've got? By the way, what type of detective are you?
Me? I'm the tough guy type. I don't waste time on useless details. I aim straight at the heart of the problem. You're not wrong. Asat Pramod is Nanook's weapon to assassinate Aha. Whatever his plan may be, the target doesn't change. Remember, as far as humanity knows, there are only 3 ways an Eon can fall.
A broader path engulfs a narrower one. Divine warfare between eons. And the third one. What was it again?
Forcing an Eon to turn away from their own path.
I would have said an Eon losing their way, but okay, sure.
Whichever it is, none of it sounds remotely connected to Plain Arcadia.
Well, we could have had potential divine warfare if things went bad with Shuhu's flesh, and potentially Lan the Hunt themselves would have joined the fray. A broader path engulfing the narrower one. Now that is an actually potential interest, because didn't the weird voice of Ouroboros in the Torn Scroll talk to the Trailblazer and said something about, like, I don't know what the words were, but I think it was something about, like, surrender to this, like, happiness or something. And isn't that what Elation is about? Like, I mean, Elation is a ridiculous, super high feeling of joy and happiness. Elation is like excess, even, if you really want to describe what the word means. So, to a certain extent, maybe? Maybe that could make sense. And the third one, I mean, on one hand, I would say Aha is the one Eon that I would expect to keep their path more than anyone else, but on the other hand, wouldn't it be like a weird ironic joke to have Aha not be Aha anymore? Like, Aha losing their way of not being the Eon of Elation anymore would just be weird. But none of that helps us in the actual how.
So, what makes you so certain Asat Pramod is here on business, not on vacation?
Because he plans for who knows how long. So he probably isn't showing himself now just to be like, oh, I'm just taking a break, but more because his plans are coming towards an end.
Because we folks just dug up one heck of a treasure from underground. And in the stories tied to them, we've unearthed more than a few names worth paying attention to.
It's the entire thing again. Okay. Dorothy is like the weird one, but I think we're gonna go through all of them, so we're gonna just start at the top. The Shepherd.
An old pal who can't stop lying. He goes on and on about death being a solitary feast, but I just saw him last week, alive.
I see you're acquainted. Please, introduce us sometime.
Baragi is the bartender.
Baraji? Forget it! He's good behind the bar, but slippery as an eel. Ask him to work for Nanook, and he'd run away on the spot.
The former bartender of the tavern, everyone knows him. Couldn't be him.
Dorothy.
That's just a title. Anyone with a girlish heart can call themselves Dorothy. Between you and me, Director Sparkle used that name once too.
Guess when?
Looks like this clue has little value to it.
That only leaves us with two people. The Scarecrow. Are we gonna get something more of like how you know them, Ashvale?
Him? He caused trouble in Gotham City a few days ago. Pearl threw him into prison.
Or he is just a Batman reference. Okay.
I know. I was the one who caught him.
En route.
Right. He's the one I can't stop thinking about. The stories change every time, but they all circle back to the same logic. En route defeated the Voracity by some means.
You're right. Then who is this en route? Do you know him? En route.
Ooh. Another stranger appears behind us, conveniently at the moment where we're talking about some random person. Some random person that we already kind of know in Belobog has their ways to slip past stuff and get into places where he may not supposed to be.
Of course she does! Everyone in the tavern knows that name. Long ago, its owner grew tired of jokes, cast aside his mask, and walked away.
You are en route.
Some say he became a morning actor. Others say he jumped into IX's black hole. But none of that matters. What truly matters is that you have my unreal Sparks and Spark.
I knew it.
Not Giovanni.
Give it back, give it back! That's a big order my client wants immediately.
What do you mean, give it back? It just wandered off, and I happened to find it on the way, so I brought it home. You want it? Here, take it now.
Absolutely not. Wait, right now? This doesn't sound like you at all.
No. If it's a no, it's a no. Yes, I'll keep it. Bye-bye.
Get back here!
Well...
Sir, do you need to hire a private detective?
You know what, Ashvale? You would get along with Sampo.
Hey!
No. The man's gotta eat and pay his refrigerator bills.
Can you catch her for me?
I mean, can he?
Of course. I'll have that thing returned to you safe and sound in half a day. But, in exchange, I'd like you to elaborate a bit more on what you were saying.
Oh, so that's why you're here. Now, old Sempo's intel isn't cheap. Waiving the fee won't quite cut it, will it?
Name your price. Put it on Pearl's tab.
Just kidding. Money talk's boring. Besides, the Astral Express and I go way back. Oh, and I wouldn't scam you two. The en route you're looking for lives up to the name. There's nowhere he can't reach. Only places he hasn't been yet. He's the gold standard of the masked fools. He only shows up where he's least welcome. A morning actor's stage, a friend's wedding, even inside the Voracity's mouth. All for the sake of a good laugh. Oh.
That lines up. Sounds like the origin of the legend.
March looks so unamused. I love that facial expression.
So, he's a friend of yours?
Again, I think he is him.
Not a chance! Back when old Sempo was still a kid, en route was already a name in the history books. He left the tavern during the Second Prosperity. They say after hearing 30 trillion jokes, he never laughed again. Before he left, en route said one thing that, at the time, no one cared about. Elation has been dead for a long time.
Where did he go after he left the tavern?
probably not just some random thing, but actually something that's much more important, right?
The tavern has 10,000 mouths, all telling different stories. All I know is this. He said he was headed for the true world's end, and then he vanished without a trace.
How do you know all this?
Oh, I've been around long enough to have my own channels. Just trust old Sempo. And about catching Sparksy?
Leave it to me. I keep my word.
En route is a fool who loves going to places where he isn't welcome. He left the tavern after the second prosperity, heading for the true world's end.
Ah, see? You only need that 10% of the story to be true.
Yep.
The last thing he said was really scary.
Really? We've been through worse, March.
So many unanswered questions about en route. He has to be tied to Asat Pramat somehow. But our leads at the tavern have run their course. Let's go pay a visit to another expert next.
Why is expert in quotation marks?
Oh. Speak of the devil. Only a Cienjo general could have arranged something like this, I suppose.
I'm surprised as well. You've only just left Amphorius, and already you've managed to draw the attention of another Lord Ravager.
Miss Ron May? And Miss Ting Yoon?
We're here by General Yao Guang's request. It seems we arrived just in time.
At first, I only came because the Shenzhou extended an invitation, and it seemed impolite to refuse. Now that I'm here, I see it was well worth the trip.
Why does Ruan Mei have a glass if she's a hologram? I mean, I guess she could be drinking on her side. That's still weird, is it not?
So, let me get to the point. Ouroboros has long been dead. Their death was merely buried beneath layers of secrecy.
Okay.
Hardly surprising. They disappeared after the swarm disaster, and there are many different opinions on where they went.
How did they die exactly?
The Intelligentsia Guild claims the Voracity ate their fill and entered hibernation. I don't buy it. Those scholars are fond of post-meal naps themselves, likely just projecting their own habits.
You seem surprisingly calm, which makes sense. After all, the shadow in your right hand is evidence as well. Why don't you tell everyone what happened to the Galaxy Rangers back on Von Walk?
Oh, I only put one and one together. Someone who took the shadow of the Voracity, and what Asheville, his shadow, is definitely tied to it, so... There's definitely a bit more to this.
Von Walk.
Sprightly Long Walk. I've heard there's a particular phenomenon that occurs on that rainforest planet. Plants multiply and grow and are then harvested like wild grass. A cycle repeating every few decades. Almost identical to the Phantom Moon Games.
But how are the two connected? When you hear plants and growth, shouldn't that make you think of abundance?
And there is an arbor here.
Huh. Wait.
It seems you figured it out. By coincidence, abundance is another thing the two worlds have in common.
When coincidences pile up, they cease to be coincidences, Mr. Ashvale. No. Leader of the Rangers, Mr. La Mancha. Perhaps you could explain this to our nameless friend?
Back on Von Walk, I'd already long since stopped being a ranger. Your conjecture is basically correct, Miss Ron May. You're not the only genius to take life as a subject of study. By the time I arrived, the atavistic experiment was already approaching its final phase. Dr. Primitive had set his sights on an ancient leviathan.
Ooh.
Beneath Von Walk's surface, there also lay the remains of the Voracity.
You stopped him.
The Rangers stopped him. Back then, Mr. N was still human.
And there we have the answer to why he is a monkey now. Okay. So Ouroboros is implanted into multiple things. It's literally like shedding its skin and the pieces are just lying around.
Now, deep beneath Ahatopia, another corpse of the Leviathan lies buried. If I'm not mistaken, there are countless other worlds carrying out the same ritual. Aha sealed Ouroboros' body among the stars, suppressed it with abundance, siphoned the power of the Path of Voracity, and called it a game. This is what people call the Phantasmoon Games.
Siphoned the power. Wish power. Are we saying wish power runs on Voracity?
Uh-huh. Why would they do such a thing?
You may remember, the Express once delivered a Leviathan's carcass to me. That wasn't the only one in my collection.
Yep, I do remember.
By arranging remains from different eras in sequence, I discovered something rather intriguing. At a certain moment over 1,000 Amber eras ago, just as Akivili began traveling in pursuit of their ideal, all creations of the Voracity lost the same organ. Their taste buds.
What does that imply?
The purpose of consumption changed. Be they spawns, depth crawlers, or void song whales, their genetic markers encoding gustatory organs vanished entirely. Creatures walking the path of Voracity became nothing more than biological black holes, consuming without discrimination.
But why?
This was not natural evolution. Through the simulated universe, I identified the point of divergence in history. A concept had disappeared from the path of Voracity. Consider this. What do taste buds provide?
Well, the good taste of food, and tasting good food makes you happy. It's elation.
Yummy flavors?
Precisely. Savoring something's aftertaste is an act of elation.
So Aha stole the original Prima Mobile of the Voracity?
The simulated universe proves nothing on its own, but the primal desires of life have always been entangled. Think of it as my intuition. The conflict between the eons of Elation and Voracity stretches all the way back to primordial times.
So for Voracity, it's just a side effect. But for Elation, it's the purpose. Is how I would put it, right? Tasting, or in this case, enjoying the aftertaste, is the important part for Elation. That's what gives you elation. That's the entire thing. That is what it really is about. The lab. While for Voracity of like just eating, having the aftertaste is just exactly that, an after the fact thing. It's not the main course. So it's a little bit different than what we had on Penacony, where we learned about Enter the Order and Jeeper the Harmony, where the Order was engulfed by the Harmony. Here it is a path splitting off.
How many people know about this?
There used to be 2. I only told Yu Qing to. Now, there are 5. After this, I can't be sure.
Exploit the old conflict between Aha and Ouroboros to ignite a divine war, or allow intersecting paths to devour one another. Of the 3 known ways to kill an Eon, the Arcadia fulfills at least 2. Now who still thinks Asat Pramod is here on vacation?
But you still haven't explained where it came from.
Oh, you mean the shadow?
Yep.
It has nothing to do with Funwalk.
Oh?
Call it a twist of fate. This isn't my first encounter with the Astral Express, nor my first time dealing with a Lord Ravager. When my home was destroyed by Zulo, I had a brief encounter with a former navigator.
Probably Icy.
A navigator of the Express?
Yes. Starseer, I see. He'd already retired by then. He was the one who told me about the Shadow. According to IC, it was one of many remnants left behind when the Express first carved paths along the edges of the cosmos.
Oh. Huh. That's interesting.
I led the Rangers to suppress the Shadow, and devised the plan to assassinate Zulo. But I never learned why it was there in the first place.
Don't you find it strange, Mr. Ashvale?
Strange?
When coincidences pile up, they cease to be coincidences. Like an experiment with results that are too perfect, it's enough to send a chill down your spine. If you don't mind, let's walk through the whole thing once more. Earlier, what did you 2 uncover in the tavern?
Someone suspected to be Asat Pramod knew about the Voracity secret. Before disappearing, he said he was headed for the end of the world.
The edges of the cosmos.
And then? Who did he say the Shadow belonged to?
A former navigator. The Shadow was a remnant left behind when he charted the cosmos.
If the world's end isn't the tavern, then where is it?
I don't know if anyone can answer that question. Not even Akivili.
Yeah, March?
Wait. Don't tell me.
En route only goes where he isn't welcome. After leaving the tavern, he went to the Astral Express.
The detective game is over.
What? Ashfield Detective Notice. Lord Ravager Asat Pramod is back. The laughter, but he's joke. En route, heading for the True World's End, Astral Express. Haven't in a long time, old friend. Everything else is blanked out.
I have to say, not many people can make me change my plans.
That voice is Asat Pramod. He sounds like Mr. Meanie from last time.
Whether in the past or present, You've always been one of them.
So, it is you.
You know how it is, kid.
Interesting mask. Some of those symbols look like they are the same that Assad Pramad has on the dice.
I've always enjoyed arriving uninvited.
But we're not doing the fight. Okay.
Pearl
There was
said
another.
she would arrange a ferry to pick us up at the Seafeld City dock.
There was another big just reveal of things. But I guess we're gonna get into it more. So right now we're gonna focus on this.
The place we're going to holds clues about Graphia. Really?
I mean, if we don't believe it, then what else are we gonna do? Like, legitimately. That is our best course of action. Also, I just want to test something. I need to test it. It's gone! I had it happen for multiple times before this update that every time I opened the team view in this area, the freaking trees from this entire mountain range showed up on it, and I was confused as all hell every single time. But it is fixed.
It is an honor to, well, shall I say, be of service to you again. To be honest, when Madame Pearl invited you to visit the Perlux Tower, I was supposed to be your guide. I ended up being replaced by a total fraud.
Nah, she was nice. Could have been worse.
My name is Feld. By order of Madame Pearl, I will be escorting you to your destination.
Thank you, Mr. Feld.
You are too kind. I followed the battle in Seafeld City very closely. Serving a hero such as yourself is a true privilege. I assume Madame Pearl has already briefed you on our destination?
Not really. Like, she only told me to come here.
I see. It so happens that Madame Pearl is tied up with an unforeseen event, so allow me to brief you in her stead. The destination of our boat journey is a hotel known as Inkford Hermitage.
Okay, we knew that, kind of.
It is situated at the end of a Dovebrook tributary that ultimately flows into the sea. It is one of the points where the world in canvas intersects with reality.
Yeah, what does this have to do with Graphia?
Well, Graphia's former residence was located there. Legend says the miraculous canvassing of the mortal world happened there. Would Madame Pearl, a die-hard fan, pass up a sacred site like that?
Why are you here? Are you coming with us? Nyalax, when did you get here?
Word is that Madame Pearl just flicked her wrist, signed a check with an astronomical figure, and bought the whole plot of land. She also snatched up every single piece of Graphia's lost works she could find without bothering to verify their authenticity.
I mean, she was probably going to analyze them later. And every little bit of information she could find counts, right? You only need the 10%, so if they're authentic or not, she could still maybe learn something from them.
Whew, I guess money really does let you do whatever you want. That's not even the half of it. I don't know where her obsession comes from, but she's dead set on the idea that Graphia is still alive. If she gets even a whiff of anything remotely related to Graphia, she's got her people on it at the snap of a finger.
Okay, so that kind of answers my question, like how are we going to actually go and meet Graphia? So nobody knows how. Because otherwise Pearl would have already figured it out.
But all they could find were Imagine knockoffs. Random, pretty redheads based on nothing but imagination.
Wait. like, literal imagine that are, for lack of a better word, like clones of Graphia? Is our Himiko... And I'm only coming to this conclusion because of the stupid trailer saying she never left this place. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes I don't mind spoilers in the trailers, right? Like, when it shows things like the next boss fight, it's like, we still don't know how we get to that boss fight. It could be who knows what. There could be different story intentions behind it. But for something like that, it's just like, I kind of wish that it wasn't in the trailer. And that's the only thing where I'm like, knock off, Red Hats. Like, because our Himiko, I am somewhat suspicious of her. The fact that she doesn't have the weathering curse is really weird. And this makes me go, well, if you can, we already know you can make an imagine that is looking like a person. We had that in the... I think it was the first update where we even read about it in the school, in Graphia Academy. So... could it be that... that it still doesn't have anything to do with Graphia, even if Himiko made like a clone of herself or something, and the Himiko we know now is actually a copy and the real one is dead or something. Maybe not, because again we're getting a new form of her in the next update, so probably Himiko is alive. I'm not gonna think about that because it doesn't answer the question of Graphia.
I bet her reaction went something like this. Objective. Locate the original. Error. Detecting excessive quantity of low-quality merchandise.
Ow. That might be a little side heap on the IPC.
You! I remember you! You're that fraudster from Perlux Tower!
Perlux Tower? I've never set foot in that place in my life.
Oh, I know it's you! I've seen the footage. You're wearing the exact same outfit.
Oh, a slip up in an otherwise perfect plan. Relax. Your job is safe this time.
Cut it out, you scoundrel! You can't talk your way out of this. Who exactly are you?
Yeah, allow me to introduce her.
This is the author of Fluffy Across the Blue. Blurry QR code.
Huh. Is that so? My apologies. How rude of me. Miss Colt, it's an honor to finally see the face behind the work. Please pardon my yelling. I didn't know.
No worries, no worries.
So, are you headed to Inkforge Hermitage as well?
Well, yes. Would you believe it if I said I was going on vacation?
Since you're already kind of slacking off at your work, no.
Miss Blurry QR Colt, let's be clear. You are being transported under escort.
Yeah, that's what I expected with having you two guard her.
Your current credit balance is in the negative. Madame Pearl has offered you a lifeline by asking you to complete the next volume of the Fluffy.
Whoa, this is not my fault. Remember Alloy King Pom Pom from Perlux Tower? I tried to put everything on Pearl's tab, but she found out and charged it back to me.
Well, that's your fault.
Who knew a figurine could be so expensive? It cost me more than my entire savings.
You actually have saving. Didn't you just release a new volume? How are you still broke?
I went all in on learned coins. There goes my licensing fees and royalties.
Oh, well.
I lost every single penny.
So you're escorting her to, shall we say, an intensive creative retreat?
That's a wonderful corporate slang interpretation of that.
Correct. The objective is to deliver the manuscript and clear her debts. The estimated duration is 56 days.
Wow.
Hear that? It's not a hotel. It's hell. Where you get whipped for not finishing your scripts on time.
That's just, you know, like work. Good luck with that.
The boat has arrived. When you're ready, let's begin our journey to Inkford Hermitage. Please, mind your step as you board.
Ooh. I wonder which of these places we're gonna be going to.
We have arrived.
Oh my god, we're actually on a boat.
This is the snowy shore of the canvas world, Inkford Hermitage.
Oh. Are those Wispae floating on the water?
Yep, they are.
Oh dear, there are so many Wispae. They are blocking the boat's route. But no need to panic. Please follow my lead.
Of course. Well. Oh. Ice block! Ice blocks are fragile. Attacking an ice block with a bow and arrow will cause it to crack, and attacking it again will shatter it. A trailblaze one dropping onto the surface of an ice block or hitting it by jumping from below will have the same effect. The surface of the ice block is smooth, walking on it grants a speed boost. Whoop. But it doesn't fall. Oh, and we're literally like just shattering through. No, let me... Not important! Go on with the story. Whee! Oh. I can't control my loot gremlin habits. I need to. I just need to. Oh, there's another one here, of course. I need to collect stuff, even though it's not important. Snowflakes falling into shattered ice blocks can cause them to refreeze. Ooh. It's going to snow! Can we... No. So we're just gonna sit here and... Oh god, I shouldn't do that. It's a bit more dangerous. Initially found. Oh, look at all of them. They're cute. Do they exist as plushies? Not like I want one. I'm just asking for a friend.
Whew, a safe docking. For a second, I thought we were going to hit an iceberg or something.
Do we really need to make a Titanic joke? Aww. Why are they surrounding us?
They probably sensed your wish power. You are the Phantom Moon Games superstar, no?
That makes sense.
Look,
Aww.
one's trying to hitch a ride on you.
When did you get on me?
Must have been when we came ashore. Oh, what a devoted fan.
Everyone, welcome to Inkford Hermitage.
I was imagining a Benzai Tengoku style manor or something.
Nope, this is just a normal little hotel.
So you demolished your idol's old residence and replaced it with a luxury hotel.
Of course not. Benzai Tengoku vanished more than 1,000 years ago. The original structure is long lost to time. The IPC only chose this location because this is one of the weakest points between reality and the world in Canvas. Many Imaginae are born every day, but just as many ancient lineages of Imaginae hide themselves away in the world in Canvas once their wish power dry up, or as they grow weary of the mortal world. This is the final stop before they enter the world in Canvas, and this is where they bid farewell to reality. They rest here, organize memories spanning centuries, and then pass beyond the point of no return. Rumor has it that Graphia's soul appears from time to time to guide these weary Imaginae on their path.
What does appear mean? Like, are people just claiming to seek her, or does she actually, like, show up in some way?
There's a sense of parting in the air. No wonder the soul of the mother of Imagenesis feels an attraction for a creator. This must be the finest well of inspiration.
Miss Colt, now that you're in this well too, you ought to make the most of it. Let's go. I'll lead the way.
No, little wispy. Oh. Not aw, but very much an oh. Oh no. And now he's gone. Welp, and I found readable.
And nothing more.
To the one who dwells at Dovsbrook's End. If you find this paper boat, please help me deliver it to blank street 46, not the other way around. Blank Dovbrook District. My dear child, how have you been? I'm sure you're more than capable of taking care of yourself, but even so, you've gotta let me worry about you a little. This hotel, Inkford Hermitage, turned out to be an even better place than I imagined. From the lobby manager to the other guests, most people here are pretty friendly. No one's gonna come banging down my door with a weapon in hand, and for the first time in ages, I'm sleeping in an actual soft bed. But here's the thing, I just can't fall asleep. It's not that I'm terrified of my wish power running out, it's those scenes from the past that keep playing on loop in my head. Back then you yelled at me, "You're old and useless. Staying here will only ruin my plans," insisting on sending me to this hotel. I cried looking at your face, feigning heartlessness because I was worried that you hadn't slept in ages just to afford my stay at the hotel. And for you to pull off that act so convincingly, you must have secretly practiced countless times. Bet you didn't see that coming. I actually knew it all along. If I'm gone, you'll finally be free to do what you've always wanted. Revitalize Dovbrook, create a sanctuary for imaginated creatures who've been through what we have. Even though I'd hate to see you hurt others, I won't stand in your way if it really comes down to that. You know what? They say Inkforge Hermitage and Dovbrook District are on opposite ends of Plan Arcadia, but there's the kicker. The water here is actually the main stream of Dovbrook. I hope the waters of Dovbrook, along with those playful wispy floating downstream, can carry this letter into your hands. Or maybe the security bureau will find it and pass it along to you. Either works. Farewell, child. May the god of elation above bring you good fortune. To the sender. The address provided in your letter turned out to be an empty house. According to the neighbors, the owner went missing years ago and remains unaccounted for to this day. A streamer took quite an interest in this case and organized an offline search event. People everywhere joined in voluntarily, hoping to find the missing homeowner or anyone who might have a clue about the letter's contents, but it all led nowhere. We're sorry to say we'll be sending your letter back via the wispy that delivered it. The postmark on this letter is now several decades old. And it's still lying around here. Huh. What does that tell us? Somewhere in the mountains. And that is the Phantom Moon. You can still see the rocket. I'm on the wrong side. Does it actually... Wait. Yeah, that is faster. This actually works like an actual escalator. At least it felt faster. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself.
Is that?
Ah, the golden tree in the distance. We call it Myriad Wish Grove.
Okay.
It's said that it shares the same lineage as the sacred trees on the floating island of Seafeld and the Phantom Moon courtyard. Before entering the canvas, the Imaginae go there to return their wishes, setting out unburdened.
It is said that before entering the canvas, the Imaginae go there and return. Okay. Literally what we just heard.
It's yours.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna go... That's close to the edge. We're definitely gonna go there. But still, there's more than one tree here. It's not just the one in the Phantom Moon courtyard. We have some more. Unfulfilled wish list. Ahead lies the final elation. You should not arrive with regrets. Write down your unfulfilled wishes here and entrust them to the Myriad Wish Grove. For my last livestream, I really wanted to turn off the beauty filter and let you see what I really look like. Would you still love me then? Or was it always only that perfect her on the screen that you cared about? But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to break that pretty illusion. Couldn't free myself from the person withering away behind that digital mask. But she will never be me, not now, not ever. You can all fawn over her for all I care, I'm leaving. Kirillo Lightpaw. Illyric is a young Plu scholar of tremendous potential, a genius even. They took just one night to completely dismantle the wish power resonance fury I spent my entire life painstakingly building. And the proof? Elegant and devastatingly simple. It's a good thing when an old dogma becomes obsolete, but my brain's already crammed with too much faulty knowledge to start my research from scratch. May those who come after steer clear of the dead ends I've mapped out, and unlock the mystery of wish power sooner. ASO Plu. Why can Mechatrons swap out bodies of any size so easily, while no matter how hard I train, I can never bulk up? If everything about us Imaginae is predetermined from birth, do I really have the freedom to choose how I live? Yikes. Even Orch's strength has its limit. May there be no bodybuilding competition in the world in Canvas, Fenrir, Orch. The birthplace of Emotes, the rooftop of Perlux Tower, the far side of the Phantom Moon, and the boundless sea of stars. There are just way too many places I want to visit. I can't even list them all. The universe is so vast, maybe the only way to make that dream of roaming the cosmos come true is to board the legendary Astral Express, huh? I wonder, would the Nameless accept a rabbit as their traveling companion? Naya, Moonlol. We have a rabbit thing or something. Pom-pom. So yes, we would. We would absolutely travel with a rabbit. I don't know. I think Pom-pom has at least a little bit of... Well, it's not... No, the ears are too long. Pom-pom is more like a hare in that regard, not a rabbit. I mean, Pom-pom is whatever, but the point still stands. We would accept pretty much everyone, right? I fulfilled the wish of Orlando the Human. As for me, I only wish I had never come to this world. Orlando Ghost. Oh. Unfulfilled wishes. Things you regret. And it's of the Imaginae. That's... Who are like... I mean, they're made by humans. It doesn't matter. No, I don't think it's faster, actually. I'm hallucinating. But well. So overall, I guess we also got a new bud for forming materials, but oh well. Overall, this looks like a pretty, like, just normal building. It doesn't look that special, honestly. Looks modern and all that, sure, but that's kinda it. Doesn't have anything to it that makes me go like, ooh.
And nothing more.
super interesting. It's just like, yeah. It's a bit... Yeah, this is the lobby.
We have arrived. The hotel staff will take over from here. I'll take my leave.
Okay.
Oh, it's freezing. It's cold enough for a typical snowstorm mansion murder mystery.
Sure.
Anyone here? Hello?
Why is it doing echo?
Honored guests, my apologies for the late welcome.
Oh.
Oh, no wonder it's so cold. It's an actual snow wispy. Hello there, little one.
No.
I am the lobby manager, Casper. You have a very high body temperature. Please, try not to overheat the room.
Is that important detail to figuring out who the hell Nihilux really is?
Allow me to introduce myself. I am the popular comic artist, Blurry...
The former comic artist, Miss Nihilux.
Former?
Oh, my true name is gone, just like that. Oh wait, did you say former?
The big shots upstairs gave me a heads up. You are now an asset of Perlux Corp. You'll be staying here until you finish your next volume.
Why are you ing that? That's just... Okay.
Every guest in this hotel is an Imaginé with quite a history.
Oh. Then are we even allowed to be here? I mean, I guess, yeah, otherwise things would have not worked out.
That Arcadian over there? That's a former superhero.
Which one? Never heard of him.
That one over there is one of the oldest strangelings. They're a former Kappa. These days, they work as the Hot Springs manager.
A Kappa? Didn't that lineage of Imaginé go extinct when the IPC first arrived?
There are still a few survivors that slipped through the net.
Why are you wording it like that? That feels like the IPC is responsible, which... Okay, fine, that might even be the truth, right?
As for Casper myself, I am a former frost giant.
Okay. Former frost giant?
Little old me was once a tall, mighty, and majestic giant. Of course, that was back in the Cinder Age.
So you're basically an antique who knows a bunch of old secrets. What corner did they dig you out of?
From a block of ice. It is sad how a giant block of ice melts into tiny pieces over time. I have forgotten the names of most of my friends. And I have not tasted a crispy, charred Void Ranger in a long, long while now.
Okay. I'm a current nameless.
Indeed, another glittering nameless.
Another?
Another? How's that?
That is a secret.
Okay. Any info on the former Graphia?
Sightings of Lady Graphia are as common as the snowflakes here.
Okay.
Ever since the news spread that her soul would reside at the hotel, all those Imaginé who mimic her and the weirdos who insist they have a connection to her have flocked here. You see, they all claim they have some sort of connection to her, or hold some secret about her.
I bet they're just trying to scam people out of wish power and credits. Just like all those people who swear they're AHA.
You're not wrong. But whenever the higher-ups ask for a report,
Little old Casper here can always pad it out and hand over a long list of names. Nameless, good luck with your inquiries. Bye now.
Shouldn't you show us to our room or something? Or tell someone else to do that? We can talk to other people doing that. Graphia, but different.
You can see me, and I shall hide no longer. Indeed, I am Graphia, the sovereign of all paintings, the source of all schools, the mother who birthed all Imagine. Unfortunately, my wish power is spent, and I can no longer weave my imagination arts. But you and I share a fate, with just a few wish bays to aid me.
I am Graphia. If you're giving away wish bays, you should give them to me.
And another differently spelled Graphia.
No, I am Graphia. Does this red armor not make it obvious?
Great, the more the merrier.
I don't care which. One of you, come help me fight a Lord Ravager.
Lord Ravager? To be honest, we are Graphia, but we're not Graphia.
Simply put, we are Imagine born from people's imaginations of Graphia. As for me, I was sketched by a rather unskilled illustrator for a history textbook, which explains why I look a bit rough.
I am a wispy form from the concentrated longing for Graphia in plain Arcadia.
Wouldn't we all want to have a little cute cube like that?
I am the armored goddess Graphia, from the 52-episode animated series Apocalypse of Ashes, Mecha Wars. Care to witness my signature move? Dance of the Ink Blade?
Maybe not inside. So none of you are real.
If you're looking for the real Graphia, I'd suggest you give up. I've seen countless Imagine on the verge of exhausting their wish power, begging the mother of Imagenesis to extend their lives with her paintbrush. Not a single one has ever succeeded. In the end, only those of us making a living off the Graphia brand are left. When it comes down to it, she's nothing more than a legend.
Did Graphia really live here?
Who knows? Maybe the IPC made up some story to boost the hotel's revenue.
I mean, the Cinder's age was over 1,000 years ago. Maybe the only thing left is the longing for Graphia.
Is there any way to meet her? Yeah, probably not. At least not a known way.
There's one very simple way.
Oh?
She created all Imagine with her brush. Word has it, she waits at the end of the world in canvas to see off those whose time has come. But every Imagine who has seen her is, of course, dead.
So dying is the only way, huh?
And we are not an Imagenesis. We're not an Imagine, so even if that is the way, that wouldn't work for us, would it?
These three aren't just fakes. They're also wackadoodles.
Well, looks like I'll have to find another way.
As I suspected, finding Graphia was never going to be easy.
Besides us, there are plenty of ancient Imagine living here, ones that have long gone extinct elsewhere. Some even claim to be original works by Graphia herself.
If you're serious about finding Graphia, you should try asking them.
I will. And in terms of like how different, what do I want to say? From the beginning. As opposed, in terms of like how difficult it is to
Grandmother's still in this hotel too.
find Graphia, I didn't necessarily expect that it would be that difficult. I kind of expected, because Evanescia asked us to, that she had a way to just help us get there, but yeah, that's not what's happening. Death is asleep without sorrow. I mean, without anything, I would say, but okay. Greetings, colleague. Welcome to the Inkford Hermitage Hot Springs Hotel. This special orientation letter will guide you through our end-of-life care service for Imagine, helping you quickly acclimate to our hotel's service philosophy. 1. As Imagine are life forms different from humans, their deaths are also different. The most urgent concern of dying Imagine is not death itself, but rather the loss of the meaning of life. Please do your best to respect and understand the Imagine's unique personalities and living needs during service, and avoid patronizing them by using overly standardized hospitality methods. 2. Although it may appear contradictory to 1, we should also be careful to avoid over-elating our Imagine guests. Imagine nearing end of life should avoid intense emotional fluctuations, which may trigger their collapse into wispy. I am sure we would all like to avoid the headache of dealing with guests suddenly expiring on the premises. It's a nice way to put it. 3. Avoid alluding to the fording during service. What is the fording? Despite the premise's namesake and its association with the process of fording, the fording is a spiritual calling that Imagine will inevitably sense as they approach the end. Interfering with it would be highly immoral. If guests voluntarily bring up the topic, try to respond from a neutral standpoint and avoid inserting personal biases or preferences. Okay. 4. Don't make promises to guests you can't keep. Every Imagine is different, and the length of their final moments varies among each individual. Never attempt to appease them with well-intentioned empty promises, as failure to deliver may leave your guests bitterly disappointed and even mentally distraught. 5. The Myriad Wish Grove near the hotel is an Arcadian natural heritage site. Both Imagine and humans must adhere to all applicable laws and regulations when conducting activities in the area. 6. If you encounter a tricky situation that is beyond your judgment capacity, do not make unauthorized decisions on behalf of the hotel or guests. Follow the standardized protocol. This matter requires me to refer to the IPC for approval and report the situation to senior hotel staff for them to address. 7. Death may be like falling into an easy sleep, but the time before it is a painful process of barring your life open for judgment. Both aspects exist simultaneously in our work, and both sides should be equally acknowledged by us. Ultimately, our service is a job like any other. Inkford Hermitage Hot Springs Hotel. Well, yeah.
Tell me.
Inkford Hermitage set menu pricing. There's always a lot more that we can do. Founder, Inkford Hermitage Hotel. You're not gonna give him a name, he's just a founder. Accommodation offerings. 1 lightweight room, rent-free. 14 square meters with ventilation, has small window, single bed, 1.4 meters times 2.8 meters, desk, limited daily hot water usage, bathhouse access limited to off-peak hours. Okay, second is standard room. Price 5,000 credits per day per room. 22 square meters, has window, a large bed, 3.5 times 2.8, desk, unlimited water and electricity. Legacy wireless network Wi-Fi available, data usage fees apply. Unlimited bathhouse access except VIP baths. Why can't I read that? 3. Modern suite, price 20,000 credits per day per room, built monthly, payment in equivalent wish bay accepted. 30 square meters, floor-to-ceiling windows, include standard room amenities, large bed, 4.2 times 3.4, couch, Ethernet network access available, message upload restricted, unlimited traffic. 4. Custom suit package, long-term guests only. Price negotiated. Includes modern suit level amenities. 30% discount on streamer tips via the IPC streaming platforms. Okay. Includes dedicated caretakers plus complimentary flower gifts delivered annually on the Day of Remembrance. Other individual services. Funeral services. Upon request, the hotel may seal up guests' room at checkout. Using advanced technology, sealed rooms can be converted into wish power to depart with the guest. Service fee charges are based on room type and the hotel's hired imaginary contractor salaries. Okay, please call the front desk for a personalized consultation. Second, leave your mark. Upon checkout, guests may write their name and a special message to the hotel's Wall of Fame for future guests to admire. Spots are limited due to overwhelming demand. Watch the hotel's livestream for announcements of periodic upvote events offering the chance to win a spot. Well, everything is a service of the IPC and everything can be paid for. Still, probably still good that this exists. Reality enhancement services. 1. A perfect funeral. Guests concerned about their wish power dissipating too quickly may contact the hotel and request a special funeral back in reality. For the funeral, the hotel will organize a group of actors dressed in black suits and sunglasses to be mourners, adding a touch of mystery as they pay their respects. The entire funeral will be professionally recorded as a short video and blasted across social media. The hotel then channels the wish power generated by the resulting burst back to you as a standby energy backup. 30% service fee will be deducted. That is just... Am I retracting my statement of like, at least this place exists even though it's weird and maybe potentially a bit like morally questionable to... I mean, we do that in real life as well, like actually paying for funerals is expensive as all hell. Second, cleaning service. Suddenly remember some sensitive information you forget to destroy. As guests cannot leave Inkford Hermitage, the hotel offers a personal data cleanup service. To apply, simply provide the device location, login credentials, data type, and file path, such as browsing history and private files. Then poof, never worry about it again. For an additional fee, the hotel's Ether Hacker specialist can replace it with wholesome, more curated information. For example, imagine how much respect someone who spent their life browsing charity websites and focusing on personal fitness and self-improvement commands within their family legacy. Please contact the hotel staff for further details. Service fee discounts available for modern site bookings and above. The hotel assumes no responsibility for any additional disputes arising from the service. 2.5. If you truly require this information, we can arrange to bring it to the hotel instead of destroying it outright. Additional charges apply. Special species surcharge discount. Mechatrons. Bedding and toiletries are specially designed. Due to size and weight, entry into the bath counts as 2 persons, free of charge only if the head is carried by someone else. Okay, the cost is calculated at 200 to 500 credits per day and will be refunded at checkout. Unlisted rare species, rate negotiable upon check-in. For any other questions, please inquire at the front desk. Our lobby manager Casper will be happy to assist. Okay. Well, quick glance at the shelf reveals that it is packed with superficial self-help titles, and I cannot read that fast enough. Bathing curtains, Article 1, please change into a bathroom before entering the bath. Mechatrons are excluded. Self-help titles such as returning to the world in canvas, fear not the future, regret not the past, and everything is the best arrangement. It is all a collection of shallow inspirational platitudes. Okay.
I spent my whole life doing hard labor in a frozen wasteland. Now, death rewards me with hot springs. What a way to go!
Okay. Sure. How? You are not a kappa anymore, but you're still green.
I sense more stray thoughts and disturbance in the water. The imaginae of today are far too restless.
Are you the hot springs manager?
Yes, yes. This old soul is just scraping by with what little talent I have left. The humans here call me Sudscour, a filthy name, but fitting for this frail and wretched form. Are you here at the hot springs to wash away your stray thoughts? Or just to chat with the last kappa of Ahatopia?
Well, the second. You're the last kappa?
Well, as you see, my kin have either been swallowed by the muddy currents or have fled into the canvas. Long, long ago, my people lived in every river and pond in Ahatopia. We tended the crops for the artists, and in return, they painted our descendants into existence.
Why have you chosen to stay in the real world?
It is hard to leave one's homeland. Even when my kin have entered the canvas, even when the waters here are no longer clear, and even when the new Plu tribe has replaced us, this is still my home. It needs someone who remembers the old days. As long as I remain, the Kappa line is alive.
Well, now for the real question. Do you know Graphia? Upon hearing that name, the withered body of Ahatopia's last kappa begins to tremble faintly.
Lady Graphia is the one who guided all Imaginae. Her name shines like moonlight through my dimming memories. Back then, the demons from beyond swept in like a dark tide. The filth and flames they brought could turn even the clearest stream into a toxic swamp. We Kappa were weak and could only shiver at the bottom of the rivers, but it was Lady Graphia who found us. She encouraged us, saying that every drop of clean water held power against the darkness. She taught us how to use water to protect the displaced mortals and wash away those impure monsters. Though our impact was limited, that was the most heroic era for my kind.
What was Graphia like?
Legend says that when she was a painter, she was a woman of radiant beauty. But in my fading memories, on the battlefield, she was a warrior with flowing red hair and pigment-stained armor. Some say she fought like a demon, but to me, her eyes shone brighter than the smoothest river stone. If you seek clues regarding Lady Graphia, you should visit the mountain behind the hotel. There are atonement statues left by Imaginae there, filled with their prayers. It is also the site of Graphia's former residence. Casper likes to wander around there. He is a strangeling far older than I. Perhaps if you play in the snow with him, he might show you the way.
Thank you.
That is all I can tell you. After all, I am just a stubborn old Kappa, trying to keep this one pool of water a little cleaner.
Please don't linger around here.
Well, that was not there before. Was it? Graphia Sighting Report, a memo pad in the Inkfort Hermitage lobby. It records a series of messages that Casper collected about Graphia. July 9th. Reporter, former foodie at All Tastes Good. Report details. While eating the buffet breakfast, the guest felt the cookies were extra delicious. Great. The guest suspected that Graphia snuck into the kitchen the night before and used magic to make the food taste better. Okay. This is going to be this kind of thing. Reporter, former operator Big Tooth. Report details. The guest answered a call in a room from a person who claimed to be Graphia. The caller invited the guest to a contest of endurance to see who could stay in the hot spring longer. Is that going to be a running gag? I mean, why not? July 10th. Reporter, former security officer, Justice Night. Report details. The guest saw a red figure that looked like Graphia walk into room 403 at the hotel. Reporter, former photographer, Click Clack. Report details. The guest submitted a panoramic photo of Myriad Wishgrove. When the photo was enlarged, it showed a red figure that looked like Graphia on the branches. Reporter, former gardener, Daifu. Report details. The guest saw a red figure that looked like Graphia in the woods behind the hotel. The figure kicked over many of the ground lamps. Reporter, former captain, Spyro. Report details. The guest saw a red figure that looked like Graphia in the middle of Dovebrook. It was drifting on the wall and the waves together with some Wispy. July 11th. Reporter, former fisherman, Yada. Report details. The guest fished a brand new paintbrush out of Dovebrook. The guest thought it was a relic left behind by Graphia. July 12th. Reporter, former detective, Memorial. Report details. The guest claimed that it decoded the secret password in the Ballad of Canvassing and reached the conclusion that Graphia was currently hiding in a comic book store. So no one knows anything, no one has seen her, it's just all just talking about like, yeah, people in red, like these three. That doesn't really help. So, do you know anything?
So, you're here looking for Graphia's whereabouts on behalf of that Intellitron executive.
Also on the behalf of a certain fox, but yes.
I think it's unlikely that the mother of Imogenesis will see her.
Yeah, but that's not what we're asking for. Why?
If she wanted to see her, it would already have happened. The IPC has practically turned the world and canvas upside down. You know this, right? Over 140 years ago, they brought in hackers from Punklord and did everything they could to blast open the passage between reality and the world in canvas. I think disturbing her world in canvas like that must have upset the mother of Imogenesis.
I received a request from a friend of Graphia's.
A friend of Graphia's? Just how long has that person been alive?
Well,
So that friend wanted you to find Graphia, but they didn't tell you how.
Yeah. Aside from a single parting request, Evanescence had no time to leave behind any tokens or guidance. That's not to say she left nothing at all.
The only thing Evanescence left that could be a token is the mask she painted herself, right?
Well, do you have any bright ideas?
Normally, I'd suggest you play that little snow puffball for info. That good luck with your inquiries line definitely had a subtext. But since you're asking for a bright idea, you must have heard that in a certain corner of the universe, there's a mysterious ritual that can summon historical figures to the present day.
Are we... You're talking about...
The Holy Grail War!
God damn it, yeah. I've been in one.
Oh, right! That was your big adventure in Penacony. Oh, how nice. I hope hope Plain Arcadia holds one too.
Your wishes apparently shall be granted in the future.
Then I don't need to explain the method. First, we need a catalyst. Do you have Graphia's brush or palette? Doesn't look like it.
Wait a second. Wait. That does mean that Fate is canon in Star Rail. That is not a crossover anymore. This is the main story, and if we're actually going through with it, that is just proof that that. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
No matter. Miss Kalt has got you covered. We use ley line resonance. This hotel is built on Graphia's former home. It still has a connection to her, like that vibrant golden tree. Wait, you aren't actually falling for this, are you?
But you're absolutely right.
I was just kidding. Sorry. I was just trying to lift the mood. Oh, honestly, I'm a chronic deadline misser who can barely save her own skin. How am I supposed to help you?
I've heard enough. Break time is over, Miss Nihilux. Now that you understand your situation, stop wasting time. Start drawing.
You can't force art, it takes a bit.
I just checked in and I have to work already? I'm not some fully automated painting Mechatron. You do know that, right?
A Mechatron can run for hundreds of hours straight. You cannot. That's exactly why every second counts. Now right this second, start increasing your value as a quality asset.
Jeez. Well, Nihilux, I apologize deeply for the joke I made when we set off. This is horrible.
Hey, wait! This is kidnapping! Little raccoon, help me!
But then again, we did somewhat the same in a side quest where you drag her back to do her own signing. So maybe she becomes less of a slacker after this? Probably not. Nihilux is hauled away by two bodyguards, leaving nothing but her drawn-out cries for help echoing through the lobby.
Nihilux has a point. If that Casper guy is a survivor from the Sindarth age, maybe he really does know something. Anyway, I'll start by asking around here.
Okay, we're not doing the thing. Wait! Casper was here like 5 seconds ago. Okay, we talked a bit longer than 5 seconds. But the point still stands. He was here. Where have you gone? You... I wanted to call him Fluffy, when I'm like, is Snow Fluffy? I mean, I guess. Maybe. Yes. But also, it's a bit weird to just say that. What are we having here? Kappa Chronicles. Physical appearance. The body of a Kappa consists of a torso, head, and limbs. You are amazing. Your gift of observation is immaculate. Standing roughly the height of a human child, it sports a flat mouth like a beak and a hard shell like a turtle on its back. Its entire body is covered in fine scales that shimmer with an algae green hue under sunlight. A kappa has a shallow dish on its head that holds water. To maintain its vitality, it must keep this dish filled at all times. When the water in the dish is fresh and full, it is full of energy and its scales gleam. If the water runs dry or becomes murky, it grows exhausted and gradually loses its ability to move. Webbing between a kappa's fingers and toes let it glide through water like the wind. On land, however, a kappa's short legs make it clumsy and slow, which means kappas are not built for long treks. Habitat and society. Kappas typically live in family units scattered throughout rivers and lakes in resource-rich areas near rivers, estuaries, and large lakes. Larger kappa settlements with greater populations can form. Kappa shelters are constructed from pebbles and aquatic plants, usually built on slow-moving riverbeds and in marshy lowlands thick with reeds. A healthy aquatic environment is essential for Kappa's survival. When water bodies suffer irreversible damage, Kappas pack up their families and embark on a perilous migration, hoping to find a new clean water source to inhabit before they lose the ability to move. When the Phantasm Moon waxes full, Kappas journey to the sources of their waters, dancing around the moon's reflection in the water to celebrate and rejoice together. This ritual commemorates the Mother of Imagenesis who, under the moonlight, first drew the Kappa of Ahatopia into being. From that moment, the entire Kappa Imagine race was born. Special abilities. Kappas are renowned for their affinity with water. They are able to absorb impurities, toxins, and decaying matter from aquatic environments, thereby purifying the waters. Legend has it that this talent originated from the vision of the Mother of Imagenesis, to make Kappas the guardians of the waterways, using their own bodies as filters to sustain the ever-flowing clarity. When a Kappa absorbs too much contamination, it falls into a weakened state similar to being clogged, and must rest for an extended period to recover its health. As such, large Kappa settlements carefully maintain a dedicated area of pristine water for individual healing purposes. Kappas are excellent partners for humans in farming, irrigation, and environmental protection. They help irrigate and drain farmland, ensuring that water flows evenly across the fields to prevent waterlogging. At the same time, Kappas are skilled at locating underwater leaks in dikes and dams, patching them up with stones to prevent potential flooding disasters. Postscript. Hello, unknown friend. I have decided to pen these words as an epitaph for an ancient imaginary race, leaving a memorial for this race on the brink of fading away. I hope that future readers who come across this will gain a general understanding of what the Kappas were like. But I beg you, do not imaginate Kappas into existence once more. My people have long suffered alongside pollution and filth. Please let us rest in peace within this canvas. Just remember that we once existed. That is enough. The last Kappa, Sutskauer. That's kind of sad. It's actually like really sad. More readables. Who leaves something like this out in the open like this? That is no. This is very bad. Wish power recovery insights. Before anything else, there may be other Imaginary like me who find the comfort of Inkforge Hermitage far beyond expectation, who wish to make the most of its services while settling into their final days. Or perhaps they fear a different kind of ending, wish power running dry, while their credits remain unspent, leaving behind a regret that lasts forever. Either way, learning a few tricks to slow the drain of wish power is both necessary and worthwhile. This article is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Maintain a regular routine. Establish and strictly follow your own daily rituals. Anchor your existence through repeated, predictable actions. Treasure your ability to choose. Keep the number of decisions you have to make each day to an absolute minimum. Should you get up early today? What to eat for lunch? What to eat for dinner? Every moment of hesitation, every trade-off burns through the precious wish power and free will of an Imaginary. One simple answer can settle most of life's troubles, same as yesterday. Reduce information entropy. Consume information in a measured, selective way. Avoid letting fragmented, meaningless noise dilute your wish power. Obsessing over things beyond your control only weighs down your cognition. Best solution? Cut the network connection and forget there's a world outside Inkford Hermitage. Plenty of bliss here. Who needs Plan Arcadia anyway? As an alternative, spend time in the hotel library. Read myths, legends, poetry, works rich with the concentrated imagination of humankind. Make friends. Cultivate cordial but lasting friendships with the hotel staff and other long-term guests. The human employees stationed at Inkford Hermitage are among the few sources of wish power here. If they remember you and regard you as a special guest, you will gain more wish power as a result. To achieve this, you can try creating small, manageable troubles from time to time, things that need to be resolved, but with predictable outcomes. When necessary, you can even team up with other long-term guests. Soak in hot springs often. The warm waters wash away stray thoughts, reducing the internal turbulence that drains wish power. Whether you were a former nobody or a former superstar, here at Inkford Hermitage we all share the same identity: guest. If the sharp edges of past memories keep flashing before your eyes, soak in the springs, let the flowing warmth soothe your mind, slowly letting go of what came before. For those who still receive wish power from the outside world, meditating in the hot springs help organize the influx of recent wish power, allowing distant echoes of the past to settle and become part of who you are. I mean, that sounds like a somewhat nice advice, but also kind of just feels like you're just waiting for the end. You're not actually like living out your last days. You're just sitting around and just waiting for it to happen. This is another like just difficult thing to talk about, because it's like some people will have one opinion of it and other people will have a complete opposite opinion, and it's like who is wrong or right is an individual thing to figure out. It's not just something where it's like this is the 100% truth that everyone has to follow. An unremarkable snowman, yet for some reason just being quietly watched by it makes you feel oddly provoked. Kick away. You deliver a flying kick and the snowman explodes into pieces. Amidst the flurry of snow you notice something glittering shooting out along with it. Wait, hold on. This thing drops gold coins. Okay. Sure.
Casper? Are you there?
Nope. I'm not.
As you heard, no, Casper is not here. Casper is somewhere else. Oh, the Ballad of Encanvassing. A hymn sung by the Imaginary to praise the mother of Imagenesis. It celebrates the great feat of painting the mortal world into being and the beauty of the world in canvas. In ages past a divine maiden walked the desolate wilds. She traced the flame, she shaped the light, and from them roared living souls. Yet the calamitous fire burned unceasing, and nothing endured for long. Thus she took the seas as canvas, and painted forth myriad worlds. Where mountains and seas knew no bounds, where heaven and earth were one. With laughter sad as ornament, she stilled our weeping. The phantasmoon shall not fall, and Dothbrook shall not fade. No fiend drew near, and peace held for 100 generations. All within the canvas are granted joy and delight. Sun and moon shine as one, and no tear is ever shed. Moonlords wave a gentle dance, light paths drift to a peaceful sleep, thunder calls roam the heavens, and all wondrous beings raise their voices to sing. Why can't I read today? The young know no illness, the old know no weariness, 5 generations united together, their joy in perfect harmony. And still the painters shape new buds of life, food without end, homes without bound. All within the canvas behold the full moon's grace. Those who supplicate smile, those who witness rejoice. Time is stirred and set awry. The veils of cloud are stolen away. New imagery are created and roam in delight among the mortal world. At ease, with new wonders unending. In rapture, blessed by Aha. Where lies the Arcadia? Where does Elation dwell? Here stands the Arcadia. Here abides Elation. It doesn't directly seem to contain anything like obvious in terms of information.
All right. it's yours.
Okay, Caspar, where are you? Where have you hidden? Where are you? Is he up there? There's two of him. No. He is hiding even more. Why are you hiding?
You found me, current nameless. I knew you'd come to ask about Lady Graphia.
And why is that a bad thing?
But if I tried too hard to remember things from such a long, long time ago, my soft, squishy head starts to throb, and then I start melting. Drip, drop, drip, drop.
So, you are... I'm not gonna try to understand. No. Okay, sure.
So much of my memory feels like it's shrouded in a blizzard, and I can't see anything clearly. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can help you.
Let's play in the snow.
A snowball fight? The game, the name, it feels so familiar. It feels like I had snowball fights every single day a long time ago. Shaping the snow into balls and flinging them at whatever strange intruders came barging in. Well then, come at me, Nameless. I'm a snowball fight veteran. I won't lose!
Oh. I was gonna ask, like, how are we gonna do this? We are going to, of course. Of course. Oh. No, we can't really go anywhere. Okay. So how are we gonna snowball back? Because we have arrows. That's not really a snowball, now is it? Oh, that's also not a snowball! Ah! It worked. I said it before, I can't judge distances. Those things mess with my perception. I don't know. Casper. Many years ago, Casper used to be a towering frost giant. They would often invite others to snowball fights, tossing out snowflakes, hedgehog and gold coins as they pleased. Watch out, a hedgehog thrown by Casper will knock Travelers one back. But he's not really that shiny. What happens if we... No. Hit me with a... Yes, exactly. Nothing. Okay, I just wanted to know, like, what would happen if he hits us with a bit of snow? Nothing happens. We are not... Did I find, like, a secret way? Living in a world of ice and snow is a very obvious perk. You never... God damn it, that's still not fast enough. Well, I can read it in editing. Now people just have to pause. Ooh! Whee! Okay, that was not a necessarily good idea. Whee! Yes, indeed, snow. Ooh! What happens? Are we just gonna yell? That is still not snowballs. Those are ice blocks. Ow. We are going to put you on ice. We cannot fall here, even though it looks like we can. But no, we cannot. Okay. Going to accept that. Oh, we're going to the giant Caspars. Or... other snow ghosts. What exactly is he? He was a former ice giant. What is he now? I want to see. Okay, we just quote unquote die. Okay, anything that we're supposed to be doing here? Okay. Getting into it, we're gonna get more and more thingies. Okay, this is gonna be the difficult one. Ow. But hey, we got a thingy out of it, even though we didn't dodge. That is also not a snowball. We exploded him. This was definitely a weird snowball fight. And nope. Okay. So, do you remember anything now? Ring any bells?
Phew. Things from the Cinderth Age are still a bit blurry. But I definitely met Lady Graphia. I had snowball fights with her.
Okay. What was she like?
She was a great painter who led us in snowball fights. She'd even paint portraits for everyone. Back then, when we wanted to see her, we'd go to her doorstep, light the ground lamps, and shout, "Snowball fight!" Then Lady Graphia would poke her head out of the window upstairs, unfurl the scroll, and whoosh! Slide right down into the snow. Then we'd have snowball fights against the Void Rangers together, under the giant moon. If we won, I got to swallow the Void Rangers whole. They were so crispy and tasty.
Okay, so snowball fight is just a metaphor for actual fighting. And sure. Can you remember anything else?
There was someone else. Just thinking about them makes my blood boil.
Oh.
He was a snowball fight master. I remember one time, 8 of us teamed up to challenge him.
Interesting number, because that is also the number of participants in the Phantasmoon games.
But that guy knocked us all down with his snowballs like it was nothing. All from so far away. 6 of my friends were lying on the ground, feeling beat. Losing the game got everyone so down that no one uttered a word. As for me, I think I got hit right in the neck. I saw my own giant body thud onto the ground, and my chin felt ice cold.
8 people in the Phantasmoon games? Perhaps Snowball Fight is a euphemism for the Cinderth Age Wars.
Yep. Welp. I said it before. Maybe sometimes I shouldn't say my things because the game is gonna say it anyway, but then again, I am providing commentary, so I want to still think about stuff. But yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So, in that round of the Phantasmoon games, Graphia must have fought a terrifyingly powerful opponent. It seems only she and Casper survived the fight.
Have you seen Graphia since?
I saw her once. Just once. By then, Ahatopia had already been transported into the canvas. It was so quiet and lonely. I couldn't find my other 6 friends, but I remembered where Lady Graphia lived. So, I went to her front door again, lit the ground lamps and shouted, "Snowball fight!" It felt like only a second had passed. Just the blink of an eye, yet somehow it also felt like forever. At last, I saw her drift out. She held me and cried, saying, "I'm sorry, and you've done well." over and over. It was just one lost game. We could have just won it back some other time, but that was the last I saw of her.
You've done well all these years. Now, thank you, Casper.
I only shared some memories of a snowball fight. If it helped you, Nameless, then I'm happy. That's about all Casper can remember. If you're still up for fun and games, come find me for another snowball fight sometime.
So, to summarize, Casper likes to light the ground lamps and call for her near Graffia's old home. Now, where can I find those ground lamps?
Conveniently, the thing in front of us. Technically, you shouldn't be moving a set piece here without permission, but in crises like this, who cares about a few measly hotel management regulations? In any case, once you're done borrowing it, you can always play a couple rounds of snowball fights with Casper to make up for it. Sure. Okay, though, but looking at the time, looking at the potential that we're now actually going to do this, I would say I'm gonna stop here for now for the first part, and we're gonna see where this goes next time. Or rather, like, well, next part. Till then, I'm going to probably think about too many things a bit too much, but hey, maybe we're also getting some answers to certain things. Till then, have a nice day! Hope you enjoyed. Do the YouTube things, leave a like, leave a comment, and till next time, bye bye!